Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to ZeroLift Podcast. I'm your boy, Mr. ZeroLift, coming at you with an introduction to our new iteration of the podcast. We're taking it up a notch. We're doing some video on YouTube now. We're gonna try to do some in-person stuff. It's gonna be a wild ride, and it has been for the past 2 years. Quite honestly, both John and my life have gotten absolutely crazy. We're back on the throttle. We're back doing what we love to do, which is sitting down and having conversations with people addicted to speed as much as we are. And boy, do we have a good list of guests coming up. Starting off with a good friend of mine, Dan, who his Japan story is very similar to mine. There's a lot of parallels. I think you guys will like it. He talks about his devotion, what it really means to be a Wangan Hashiria runner, which is nuts. And he did it the right way at the peak of it all. Unfortunately, somehow I've messed up my mic in this instance during the recording, so I'm very much muted, but it's all right. I don't do a lot of talking because Dan is the one telling the story, and all you got to do is listen to him. So enjoy. This is a New Life to Zero Lift podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Zero Lift. I am once again accompanied by John. Hello, John.
Hey guys, how you doing?
For those of you who don't know who we are, my name is Leonard, aka Mr. Zero Lift, and this is John, aka Mr. Slow, Captain Slow. We
I
are
was
two
never
guys.
Captain Slow.
You're always Captain Slow, buddy.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
never Captain Slow.
We'll have to
It was
discuss that in
Ryan.
the outside group chat.
Ugh.
Anyway, we're two guys, GTR enthusiasts, travelers of the world, lovers of Japan, and super gearheads. And today we are accompanied by a very special guest, a fellow gearhead, a fellow GTR fanatic, probably the most GTR fanatic I've ever met, honestly. He is no other
What's up?
than the GTR King himself, GTR Dan, aka Trakuza, aka the Wangan King, aka the new owner of a certain Emperor R33 GTR. Hello, Dan. Welcome to Zero Lift Podcast.
Ohayou gozaimasu. How's everybody
Ohayou
doing?
gozaimasu. Doing sweet, buddy. How are you? It's been a while since we've seen each other. We met for the first time a few months ago in Miami. Before
RMC?
that, it was yeah, through RMC. Before that, it was internet friendship, as all things are now in the modern age. How
Yes,
you doing?
sir. Yep, good. Good. I'm doing good. Good. Good.
Please give us a little bit of an introduction of yourself, if you don't mind.
All right. Yep. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm GTR Dan. Pretty like Leo said. I'm a huge GTR fan. Huge, huge, huge. God, I could tell you a massive story about that. Um, I've lived in Japan for 10 years. I was in the U.S. Navy as an operations specialist. And the only reason why I joined the Navy was to buy a GTR. That's how crazy, most people say, like, oh, I want to serve my country. I want to go to college. I want to see the world. No, I was like, I want to buy a GTR. And I've had after I got out of the military, I had a big performance shop called Nerd Performance. It was about 8,000 square feet. I had two dyno jets. Like, it was pretty wild. Built a lot of GTRs, a lot of R35s mostly. We messed around with Corvettes and Hellcats and stuff like that too, because of course there's money in that. Um, yeah, so that race career, crazy stuff. Wangon, I'm one of the only few people like us, but there's a handful of us. Maybe, man, I would say a good 20, 25 people in the world, gaijin wise, foreigners that actually did Wangan racing in Japan during the time, early 2000s, a little bit after that too. Um, I was pretty notorious back then. I did a lot of. I'm probably incriminating myself right now, but which I have been for the last like 5 6 years. But yeah, I was deep, 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 deep Wangan stuff. I was dedicated. I wasn't, I wasn't messing around like midnight. I wasn't messing around like them. And
When you say dedicated, sorry, can you quantify dedicated? What is dedicated for our viewers to the
sure,
one gun?
I'll compare myself to midnight. So midnight, you would see them out there. If you guys don't know who Midnight is, it's probably the most legendary Wangan team. The reason why they're legendary was because of their reputation back in the 80s and 90s, and they were always being filmed. They were like trying to get, um, on magazine.
I, I
Was
think
that?
it's been. I mean, granted, it's been like 2 or 3 years now. I think we did an episode on like the myths of midnight, like true
Yeah,
versus false. Yeah, yeah. Like I
Yes.
said, it's been like 3 years, but
yeah.
Yeah, we had Andy
yeah.
on, who I think you've talked to Andy a few times probably on the Instagram there, who is Andy Carney, 3836 Factory there on
Oh yeah,
Instagram.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think
He knows quite a bit about Midnight.
yeah,
He knows a lot of the members personally. He has some experience. So we had
yeah.
him on the podcast, and he told us the real story, debunked some myths for us that the internet loves to exaggerate.
I should go back and watch that because yeah, there's a lot of things that with Midnight. At least when I was there, I'm claiming like the between 2001 to 2011. That's what I'm claiming, right? Before that, whatever. That's what you see on magazines, on videos when the guy got arrested, blah 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 blah, whatever, right? Where where the whole Wangan thing came from, like where it really is how to become a Wangan king, right? They got that reputation. I'm telling you guys this. I barely ever saw them, and I was out there. When I say like I was dedicated, I was there Friday and Saturday night at Daikoku, right? Which is technically like the meeting spot to Sumi and like a couple other spots. We'd circle around like nonstop. We'd be driving all night, right? Like we'd start, um, 6 o'clock. You show up at you show up at the hobby shop. You go. I was sleeping most of the day, by the way. I would get off. I was an operations specialist, so go to work at 7. 11 o'clock, you're off work, right? You're getting paid like every E5. And then you guys know what I'm talking about. And then afterwards, like you're off for the rest of the day. So I would actually sleep during the day, and then around 6, I would go to the hobby shop, wash the car, check the oil, do whatever I need to do. You go to Autobox, get free oil changes because I was just like that. And I did so many oil changes. I was doing an oil change a week, by the way. Every week I was doing an oil change. Motul
Oh
300V.
my God, you sound like Thomas. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh, you have to, dude.
Uh, who Thomas, older dude that was at Camp Zama, purple midnight purple
Oh yeah, yeah,
outfit,
yeah, yeah,
GTR.
yeah, yeah. Tom, yeah. I got a picture with. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. You guys have a group picture with
Kind of
him
quiet,
from like 2000.
kind of quiet,
What?
right? He
Kinda.
gets rowdy, but he's like, "Hey, how are you?
Yeah,
Nice
he's
demeanor."
Mr.
Yeah,
Lone Wolf.
yeah, yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Lone
That
Wolf.
the nomad. Yeah. Yeah, I know him.
Oh
He
my
would show
God,
up. He's like, "Hey,
seriously.
dude, what's going on,
I
man?"
can't believe you just said that.
Yeah.
You got the most genuine cackle out of me. That's hilarious. You sounded just like him too.
Dan gets a point. All right.
Anyway, he would drive his car so much that he would do an oil change a week. Anyway,
Yeah,
continue.
no, no, no. I actually broke two, the oil filter housing, those little, it's you can actually remove them with a big ass Allen wrench. I've actually
Mm.
broke two of those in my 34. Like that's how many oil changes I was doing because I was either over tightening it or pulling it off, and it just like started getting stripped, and like literally I had to replace that. Anyways, so around 6 o'clock, this is let's say Friday evening, right? 6 o'clock, we would go straight to the hobby shop, clean up, check your oil, check your tires, check everything, just make sure everything was, copacetic. Anzedaichi, safety first, right? And then we would head out to the haunch, which I don't know if you guys remember in the Yokosuka, they had the haunch there, right? That
Oh,
was
I
the
remember. sure.
Yeah.
On those that.
I
Yeah.
know me some hash.
Them Navajos out there. That's an inside joke for Navy people. So we would meet up. We would have our group that was down in Yokosuka and stuff like that, and then we just head out. I would say around 10. This was every single Friday, Saturday night, especially the last 3 years that I was there because I was on shore duty. So we had a lot of time, you know, to work. And we had one day, maybe we had to do 24 hours duty, but that's whatever. But I was always out there. I was like, even if it was a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Daikoku is always that place where everybody meets up now. Now it's a fucking tourist zoo right now. Like,
It's so
I,
bad.
I was in Japan about a week and a half ago. It is like, it gets to the point where I was there and I like, you kind of miss it because it's like, man, this is my home, this is my spot, right? Like
Yeah.
back then, you might see 2, 3 people that are like from Tokyo on visits. Now it's like you're seeing 20, 30, 40 people walking around like idiots taking pictures on at Daikoku right now. Like that's current, right? Because it got social media presence and all that stuff.
It's
We would go,
wild. Like I was there. I was back in Japan in January, and I went to Daikoku once, and I did not see one Japanese person there. It was all tourists,
yeah,
and then it was all foreigner tour guides. Like
yeah,
the Japanese tour guides are not even Japanese.
yeah,
They're foreigners themselves. So like the whole place was just it was basically America.
yeah. So
I
yeah,
spent 5 minutes there.
Interesting.
yeah, dude,
I
it's a zoo.
I think it was kind of transitioning when we were living there because we lived there a little bit after you did. Like I was there from 13 to 16.
And I was there from 11 to 20. So like when Dan left, I came in because
Hmm.
Japan can only handle one fast ass Brazilian American at a time, right?
Yeah, I kind
So
of
they just swap you out.
yeah, I
Yeah,
from
we had to tap out.
Yeah, from the stories that I heard when I left, I kind of ruined it for the majority of the people because of what I did and all the craziness that was going on, like especially 2011, 2010, 2011. I was being pretty reckless. Like I was doing some dumb shit.
Well, it was like when we were there, you could like Daikoku was still fun and like people would still go, but if you wanted to commit crime, you had to go to Tatsumi. Nobody was doing
Hmm.
anything for real out of Daikoku.
Yeah.
Daikoku was a
Well, yeah,
art show, and it was a good one.
yeah.
But it was strictly arts and crafts. If you wanted to do things, you had to go to Tatsumi, and that's just
Art.
kind of how it was.
That's a good one. Arts and craft. I like that.
Yeah.
That was arts and craft time at Japan.
But it
Let's
was
go
fun
to art
arts and
class.
crafts. Like Daikoku felt like the pregame.
Yeah.
You would go to Daikoku at like
That's
9ish.
100%. 100%. That was the spot. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like, we would get there around 10, right? Which is a good time
Yeah.
to get around 9:30, 10 o'clock. That's a good time to get around there. It's either Friday or Saturday night. We would always do the same exact thing. You meet up there, chill for like an hour, go get a coffee, go get one of those little rice patties from the vending machine and stuff like that. That's hot, you go eat it, whatever. So we always go to Daikoku. Now, from the base to Daikoku, we got Yoko Yoko, right? That's already fun as it is. I have video of us fucking flying through Yoko Yoko. Like I'm talking about, it'll take us from getting off base or getting out of the haunch, getting into the toll, from toll gate to the first Bayshore route toll gate. Everybody thinks that Daikoku is the end of the Bayshore route. It's not. It keeps going. It goes all the way down to between Machida
Yeah,
and
literally
Yoko.
bypass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the new road, right? So we claimed BB Dan Speed Gang, which is the name of our team, and I didn't name that. I could tell you guys a story about BB Dan real quick. Ota-san was the one that made that name up, and I got pissed because I was like, "Yo, why are you putting my name in the club?" Like, okay, I'm honored. Okay, great, but that's not cool. We gotta like be incognito. We gotta be kind of stealth, right? But why are you putting my name in the middle of the club and then it's on everybody's car, right? On the back bumper, and then Ota's like, "Oh," ho, ho, ho. And I'm like, "What does BB Dan stand for?" And then It's funny. Danny said something. He's like, "Big booty Dan." I was like, "Yo, I don't got a big booty, bro." Like, no. So it was
Brazilian
actually,
booty
yeah,
can.
yeah, Brazilian booty Dan. No, it was actually Ota told me it was Bad Boy Dan. So that right there can kind of explain. I have a picture
That
of
is
the
definitely
sticker.
explaining.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like,
That's
okay.
hilarious.
I was like, ball bearing.
Oh,
Ball bearing Dan? Like, no, that doesn't sound right, right? But because BB, like, if you Japanese wise, that's what you're gonna see, like BB. Oh, it's a BB turbo ball bearing, right? They always talk about BB when they describing their cars or whatever. Anyways, so we would haul ass, right? Yokosuka, you're talking about like a good 15-minute ride. We're there in 3 minutes, right? So like, right? We get to the toll gate, pay. It's about it was like 700 yen, and then you would
It's now 1390.
yeah, it's retarded. Yeah, they're just raping everybody on that.
100
Yeah,
million.
100. So from that toll gate, what's the name of the road again? I always forget the damn.
It's Horigoya bypass.
Yeah, yeah. So from there
Horigoya.
to Daikoku, we claimed that road. Like BB Dan, like that was our place. Like if anybody wanted to race, if anybody wanted to do something crazy, that was like our spot. Like we're if we do rolling 60 roll, whatever. Like if we're doing stupid stuff, that's our area. Everything else is like uncontested, right? Bayshore all the way to Oi parking, that doesn't belong to anybody other than whoever. Well, when we were doing it, it was maybe the midnight team did something else because they were all over. They were scattered everywhere all over Tokyo. So, um, and then we would get to Daikoku. We'd be there in Daikoku, hang out, see all the crazy Gundam. I call them Gundam vans. The vans with the freaking
Oh
the
yeah,
fucking fins sticking out to like. It's like, how do you go under a bridge with that thing? Like, does it transform like into?
They really
blasting
do.
music out of 30,000 subwoofers.
Yeah, that too. The fucking dudes with the lights. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, they were all just sitting there in Daikoku. That
Oh,
was the
it
good
was
old
just so
days.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Once the whole team's there, because everybody's coming in from Kawasaki, coming in from Tokyo or wherever, and then everybody's meeting up. Then what we do is like around 11:30 ish, give or take, we're out, right? And you've seen all these videos on YouTube about people at Daikoku and leaving. Everybody's driving. They're going like 110, 120 kilometers per hour. Nah, dog. One thing with me, yo, we're doing 200 right out of that fucking out of that on ramp, dude. We're out, like, dude. Like I had my buddy Paul, which you guys know. I don't know if you guys know. He passed away a couple weeks ago. He had the top secret R34, the one that was on Fast and the Furious. It used to be blue, and then they painted it midnight purple. He passed away. Military guy. And
Rest
we're
in
not,
power, Paul.
yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. Quick story, side story on this is that he used to be like, "Yo, Dan, I want to ride with you, bro. Let's go, man. I can't wait. We got our crew from Yokota. Like, let's go, let's go." I'm like, Paul, man, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You got to keep up. And he's like, "Bro, I got an R34. It's 800 horsepower, bro. I got you, bro." I was like, "No, you don't, dude. I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna go as fast as we're gonna go. I have the same power you have. You have twins. I have a single, but." You're not going to keep up with us. And he's like, nah, bro, dude, we got this. We're from Yokota. We're Wangan guys. I'm like, okay, okay, bye, bitch, like that. And they're like, yo, Dan, where'd you go? I'm like, I told you guys, you got to keep up. It's no bullshit, bro.
Where'd you
You don't,
go?
you don't.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I'm. You're gonna see me 1 second, and then it's like, yo, where did Dan go? Like, and one of the
Where'd
things,
who go?
that we have a rule is that when we were on the Wangan, you turn your fog light on, right? And the reason why everybody was like, oh, it's like the Wangan thing. It's like the Wangan runner light, that's like represents us, right? My idea of the light is so that you know where we're at down the highway, right? So you see all these lights. You'll see, and the Emperor that's in the garage has a really bright fog light. Like they have like an LED with like 200 fucking LEDs on it. So when you're like 3 miles on the straightaway on Bayshore, you could see that light just blasting you in the face. You're like, oh, Dan's right there, or Utta's right there, and oh, they're gone. Like and you're people are always talking about, like, TRC just made a video about it. They're going 100 and the Wangan runners midnight would hit 180 or 280, and this is kilometers, by the way, 280 to 320 kilometers. I'm like, bro, that's some weak shit right there. We're doing 230, 220, 240, somewhere in that range. You know what I'm saying? We're blasting through Bayshore all the way up. So what we would do is we would pick where we would go, right? So we would go to Sumi first. We go hang out in Tokyo for about an hour. So we had a lot. The time frame that we left was maybe around 11 to around 2 o'clock. So that time is just kind of like a free for all. We're just going out, hanging out. We're scoping the area out. We would either go to Chiba to go see the drag race events, right? Chiba, I'm talking about, you take the aqua line down and then you go across and there's this little spot where they had all these disease Hokoskas, R31s that are like full drag cars. They're just racing in this dark ass road. Do you know where that? Yeah, I don't know. I'm the
I
worst
know
person
where
with
it
names.
is, and really side note, that's crazy because that used to be the drag spot out there, but from the time that you left to when I discovered about it, which I think it was about 2013, it disappeared. That scene totally got
Yeah,
wiped out
I
because
blew.
they made like a new shopping mall right after the Aqualine Bridge,
Hmm.
and so like that whole Kizurazu area turned from like a really quiet port town city into like a gentrified new development thing, and so like it
Hold on,
totally wiped out
Lenny.
the underground drag scene.
Lenny, did we race carts with Johnny basically
Yes,
on the scattered remains of the old drag strip?
probably. It's like yeah, so that
Is that
new
the
Aeon
mall?
Mall, that
Yeah,
there was a new Aeon Mall when we were over there that had a like this wicked go kart track in the parking lot of it, which is another
yeah.
testament to why Japan is one of the best places
Yeah.
ever on earth if you're a car guy. Because like where else in the world is there going to be a legit go kart track with like what I would say is Class B carts, which are relatively fast, outside of a shopping mall, like regular shopping mall, Eon regular shopping mall, sick, nasty, legit go kart track. We spent the entirety of the morning there. Myself, Ken, and Bob were hungover from the night before because we went out
Nice.
to Machida because I had a great idea to be like, hey, let's go to Rick's American Bar and fucking shoot pool the day before we're supposed to do this go kart race tournament. Ken's in the bathroom throwing up, and we're in an endurance race. Anyway, yeah.
So, we would go there. We would go to Sumi. We go maybe even Machida sometimes. There's a couple of PAs up there. Or instead
Yeah,
of
there's
doing
a
the
PA's up there.
yeah, or instead of doing the Bayshore route, what we would do is another route that we always take is the K1, right? That was scary. I think
To
that's more.
Yokohama.
I think K1 is even more scarier than the Bayshore route. Okay, you're going 200 miles per hour on a straightaway, 210 or whatever. Um, it's not hard to do unless your car can withstand it, right? You got to make sure your car, and we could talk about that if you want to know how to make your car run that fast. But it's all about endurance, right? It's not about like, oh, I got 2,000 horsepower. Oh, you got 1,500. Yeah, that 1,500 might not last for doing 200 miles per hour for 5 minutes because it'll blow up, or it can't handle the heat, right? So, anyways, we would do K1 some nights. Like Ota would be like, "Hey, let's go to K1," and we'll go up because you can go up to Tokyo on the K1, right? And we would just like go to Roppongi and like hang out, park all our cars on the side of the street, and just like I have pictures of
Can
like,
I
yeah,
can I stop you right there? Let me explain to our audience here what the K1 is. So the K1 is a toll road that goes from Yokohama to Tokyo. It's a two-lane uh, divided road that's elevated above the cityscape, and it has curves, it has elevation changes, and
and
it's
it's
quite
walls,
narrow,
the
and it's
walls,
walls.
yeah,
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 you have zero runoff. It's a very small margin for error type of place
yeah,
to
no
do any
cameras,
sort of running. That's the good part that there's no cameras.
yeah. I could tell you a story about cameras, by the way, because I'm was the worst person in Japan for cameras. I have
So you
mega
took the K1
mega
there.
amount. So yeah, we would do the K1 because of course like there's no cameras, there's no cops sitting on the side of the road, there's none of that. You just
Yeah,
go.
there's just no runoff.
Yeah. Um, you go underneath. That the road starts off when you go underneath Yokohama, right under the tower, and it had that little opening up there. Then you go up, and then boom, you're on the K1, and you're just like hauling ass up there. So we would do all those routes, and then around 1:45, 1:50, 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, right? Saturday morning, 2 o'clock, right? A.M. We would go to Oi parking, right? And from what we understood from the Japanese people there and from the people that would actually race, like they've been doing it for 20 years, they might have been part of Midnight, they got kicked out, they might have been part of some other Night Runner or whatever the other clubs that they had there in Tokyo, even Masoji. So our team, our partner team was Masoji, right? So Masoji and BB Dan, we were together pretty much, but we weren't in the same. We were rivals, right? That was our rival team, but we were friends with them until a certain point. There was another story that I could tell you about that. That's insane. That shit would happen that night. And I was the one that started all of it. I
It's funny
started
because
the
I know the
demise
other
of
end.
Misogi
I
and
know the
everybody.
I know the other end of that story because
Yeah.
I know the one of the blue super guys from Masoji.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that was a great night. I have pictures. I took pictures of. I have pictures. I wish I could share them, but I got pictures of all of it, dude. I mean, like, anyways. So uh, at like around 2:30, all depends on how many people meet up and everybody's there. We would drive. Everybody would come. Like wherever you're at, you would always try to go to Oi, right? Oi, which was right next to this Shinkansen, which is the bullet train station. That's right there where in Kawasaki, I think it is. I forgot the city. I didn't give a shit, but it's that really skinny. Yeah, it's a very one. It's a one road PA. Like it goes in and you're out. But the thing is,
It's like almost a drive-through.
it's a drive-through, right? And there's like a little convenient place. There's two restrooms there. So there's a nice spot behind it that you could park at least 20, 30 cars. And there's a nice spot, not parking spots, but you know, the on ramp and the off ramp.
Space.
You can park cars there. So there was a perfect spot for a meeting spot, right? And cops don't go there. Cops just fly right by it. Like you see them, and you see one, nobody does anything. We just wait, you know. But we try to do it at 2:30 in the morning because we don't want to hurt anybody. We don't gonna if we're gonna get in an accident, it's got to be in the middle of the night. You know, we're not trying to kill anybody. We're trying to be safe. So if we're gonna do illegal shit, let's do it when there's nobody on the road. Now, the time frame between Oi to Daikoku is what, like 30 minutes?
Normally, like yeah, maybe 20 minutes,
If
25
you're
minutes.
driving 80
With a good car.
kilometers, maybe yeah, 30, 20. I mean, once we start, and there's one toll gate. Remember, there's that Haneda, or is it Haneda toll gate? No. There's
There is no
one.
more toll gate anymore.
Oh, they took it out.
It's a drive-through now. Yeah, it's just drive-through.
Oh yeah, yeah, you
Straight
drive
away.
through it, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But back then you would have to pay, right? So the guy jeans, we couldn't have ETC because we didn't have a Japanese bank. ETC is the little card.
It's a little
Yeah, anytime you have a Japanese car and you get it from Japan, you buy one and it comes with that ETC card. Do not take it out of your car. Leave it in there. It's like the biggest nostalgia, like the biggest. How do you call it? The biggest vintage piece of your vehicle that you can get.
yeah. It's the epitome of Japan.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
when the one of the first thoughts you think of Japan if you're a car guy is put
The,
your key in, ignition,
yeah.
card, like
Yeah.
please put
Yeah.
in a card.
Yeah, dude. You got to leave that P. Don't tell somebody. I had a buddy of mine took one out, and he's like, "What am I gonna do with this?" I'm like, "Dude, put it back in. That's part of your car,
Yeah,
dude.
put
That's
it back
that
in.
that that's like you got to turn it on." She's like, "Yeah, but she's annoying." I'm like, "You're annoying right now. Give me your car back." Right? So but
Valid,
yeah.
valid.
So we would meet up there. Everybody's drinking coffees, like talking. Everybody's wearing their fucking trench coats that go down to their ankles and stuff. The Japanese trench coats. They're sitting there smoking cigarettes. Just like they'll go through about 7 cigarettes in like 10 minutes, right? And
This is the early
Japanese.
2000s, so like everyone was into the Matrix.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah. And we would meet up. Everybody, I have mega pictures on this. We're, checking our cars, making sure everything's good. And then once we get word from the bosses, pretty much, or the Masoji boss or Ota, like, hey, let's go. And if you're not ready, you're fucked. You're right. You're not going to win anything. You're going to be chilling at the parking lot. Like I've that happened to me. Like I was literally on the phone, like checking my oil, and the guy started leaving, and I was like, I happened to me one time. I was like, yo, I'm like, no, I'm
There's
like,
no way.
and you're getting in the car, and you gotta go. Like you gotta hit 200 right out of the PA,
So when
like
so when the
right there.
so when the boss says let's go, he means we're going now.
Yeah, yeah. So
Full stop. Post days.
sometimes they'll stop at the toll gate, right? Because you get there 2 minutes, maybe like a minute. You'll get to that toll gate, and people will actually stop there. Some guys will like run their cars, and then they'll like, oh, something's wrong. They'll pull over, so you could see them. If you see more than like 4 cars, you stop. If you see one car parked, just keep going, right? If you see like 4 or 5 cars there, everybody stops because then it's like, oh shit, something happened. Let's pull over, right, and help, and then we'll start after the toll gate. So everybody get on the toll gate, and then boom. So where to become the Wangan King, like where we kind of made it official, right? It wasn't like midnight. Maybe there is a Wangan King with their team or whatever, because remember, Midnight only race with themselves, right? That's a lot. That's the misconception. A lot of people think that they race other people. From what we know, from my understanding, because I'll tell you this firsthand, I've tried to race Midnight, the Porsches. I've tried to race the GTRs. These guys didn't want to have anything to do with me because the car that I had, which used to be Ota's car, and everybody knew my car. First, my front bumper was completely sandblasted, right? Like you see that, people are like, oh shit. That's like your war badge. Like everybody knows. If you see a blasted bumper, just completely rock chipped at living hell. And how do you get your bumper that? You're doing 200 miles per hour, and you're getting close to somebody, and then you overtake them, right? That 200 miles per hour when you're on his bumper, the tire is ripping the asphalt apart. Okay, it's not like, yeah, it's grip, everybody, whatever, but that asphalt is just literally, there is rock chips flying, like scattered across the highway, right? Like you could be like 6 cars behind somebody, you're gonna get hit with the rock chip. You can feel it. You can like when you're driving, you're it's like fucking a Mexican standoff and stuff, and it's just, you're getting shot, dude. You're getting shot at, right?
Absolutely here.
Yeah, and so and that's just over time, right? And if you guys saw the Emperor, on my Instagram, I have a picture of the last time, I think, close to the last time that car actually was ran. It was fucked. Like the bumper was cracked. Like, and it still got the same bumper on it, and they just refiberglassed it, painted it. It's still on there. I can't believe it. It's a $400 front bumper, which is worth a lot of money. Those bumpers are like $12,000 or some crazy amount of money, which is stupid. They're fiberglass. It's like the thing should be like $1,500, but that's
Yeah.
Nissan and Nismo and GTRs, right? So thank God it's still on there, and we'd start from that toll gate or from Oi straight flying through there. Now, how do the guy G's pass the toll gate? You always prepare 1,000 yen. It's 700 at the time. It was 700 yen, right? You don't want to throw 700 yen at the toll gate at the guy because you might hurt him.
Yeah.
So what you do is we kind of figured some stuff out that like you just don't throw the money at him when you're at the toll gate. You throw it before you're at the toll gate.
What?
Yes. You know why?
With some weed?
Because you're already, let's say, you're going through that toll gate. You're supposed to go at like 20, 30 kilometers per hour. We're doing like a buck 10 through the toll gate, which is dangerous as hell, right? You can hit that toll gate, kill the guy, whatever. So you would
You're fine.
throw, yeah, you would stick your hand out the window and throw it before you're at the toll gate because the velocity of the money will literally aim. We always try to aim at the toll gate, and then you'd see that you like somehow figure it out, like the money would like the little ball of money would just like and you'd fly by. When you do that, they take a picture of your car, right? They always take a pic at the toll gates. They always take pictures of your car. I found that out through NCIS, right? Because I got in trouble with them. So I took you take off, but man, sixth gear, let's go, and then it's just climbing, and then you're at you pass the main tunnel. Now you're doing about 320, 325, 330. Now the fun thing to do is to hang out with the group, right? The bosses are the ones that are technically supposed to be up front.
You're hanging out the group at this speed.
Yeah, you're hanging out at the group. This is what makes this so much fun. And I'm going to tell this to the viewers and everybody. I do not condone this shit. I do not condone it whatsoever. Once you do it once, it's cool. Once you do it twice, it's even cooler. And it's like, wow, I'm making a name for myself. But at the end of the day, like that is probably the most dangerous racing I think I've ever dealt with. I was scared. Like a lot of you have to put your fear aside. You have to put your hesitation, which is the key to Wangan racing. You have to put hesitation. Like you don't have hesitation. It's you have tunnel vision that actually works. That's actually a thing. You get tunnel vision. Everything is moving so fast, right? When you're on the road. When you're on a plane, you can't tell, but like you're going 300, 400, 500 miles per hour, right? But when you're going over 200 miles per hour and you see that dot and it just gets closer to you, it's the most incredible feeling on the world. It's the adrenaline pump, the you're in this closed car, this coffin that's a little tin can going down the road, and you're doing over 200, and on top of that, going 200 and hitting for 5 minutes, right? You're literally at 200 miles per hour for 5 minutes on a public street. The amount of sheer enjoyment of this and the amount of sheer like, drag racing, 6, 7, 8 seconds of that. And I always used to tell people, drag racing is fucking lame. Once you do this, the top speed racing, drag racing is like, who cares, dude? Yeah, the reason why you didn't make 8 seconds is because you don't have enough money to put it into your car. Okay, go get more money, put it in your car. You'll be at 8 seconds or 7 seconds. Okay, it's just for me. No offense to anybody that's drag racing out there. If you want to do it, go for it, man. Just be safe, right? Anzedaichi. But for me, I think it's lame. I think drag racing is just dumb, right? Because it's like, bro, you spent $200,000 on your car to race your car for 7 to 8 seconds.
I then go rebuild it 2 races later.
Yeah, and then we rebuild it. Oh, I gotta double up $50,000 on my motor, man. I'm like, for me, it was great because people were blowing their shit up after 10, 15 races of just, I want nitrous. I want more boost, man. Let's do 52 pounds. I was like, bro, you're fucking crazy. Like, this is stupid. You're just blowing money for a 7-second adrenaline rush. Like, that's it. And then you get out of your car and you're cocky and you're like, yeah, man, my car's like 2,000 horsepower. You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah. And the other dude's like, yo, I got 1,000, man. I wish I could be at your level. And it's like, yo, well, you need to make more money. It's like, dude, it's a fucking cock fest when you go to the drag strip. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who has more money? Here's my cock. Here's my cock. It's bigger than yours because I make more money than you. That's how I look at it. No offense to anybody out there, but it's a very sensitive topic when it comes to me. I think racing is
doesn't
circuit.
That sound like some of the Atsugi guys?
Yeah.
From our time. Oh, I just put this big ass turbo. I got 800 horsepower.
Yeah.
That sounds
like
a Jeremiah.
Circuit racing,
like the entire...
autocross. Yeah. Circuit racing. Yeah. No, that's America, period, right there.
You know what? You know who's even worse about it though than car guys is motorcycle people. Like, if you buy a Hayabusa, the average squid, like you are the Hayabusa. Like you've done nothing to deserve it. You have no idea if you're good enough to ride it or not or anything. Like, you just own it, and they're like, that guy's got a fucking... he must be Jay-Z. Like,
yeah. The motherfucker can't even turn, bro. It's like, you try to turn on that bike, boom, done. You're dead. You're Yeah.
Yeah, that's the sad reality of. So I think that's why that Lenny, you mentioned the Atsugi guys. Like I think that's why they were that way, just because that's kind of how if you go out on a Friday or Saturday to like most car shows in the states, that's how people are. Nobody's running. Nobody's out running, and like if they are, they're by fucking themselves, or
You know,
maybe some
I've
places in SoCal or something. But like,
Yeah, I used to ride. I have a Ducati 1199 in the garage that I never talk about. But when I was in Japan, I had a motorcycle as well, and that was one of my side hobbies. From if the car was either broken or it was at the shop, I was like, yo, I got another bike. So I would actually ride the bike. I've actually driven the Bayshore route with all the car guys on a motorcycle, pinned it, like just, I wouldn't, you couldn't win. There's no way. Like you can't get to 200. Like I had a Gixxer
yeah,
1000.
not at those speeds. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a Gixxer 1000. I've gotten up to 196 on the Bayshore route. It was a Euro spec. I had one of the first one in Kinagawa when it came out. It was in a box. I bought it. I paid 10,000 yen at Red Baron. They were like, I was like, "Yo, is that the new Gixxer?" And he's like, "Today's like the first day." And he's like, "This is the first Gixxer." I'm like, "Can I put that bike on reserve? Like, what do I got to put like $1,000 down or 1,500?" He's like 10,000 yen. I was like, "What?" Dude, I pulled my wallet out. I was like, "Here, it's mine, dude." I went on deployment for 3 months after that. Yo, my bike was ready for me. I was like, bro, I had one of the first Gixxer 1000s in Kinagawa, at least the Kinagawa prefecture, and I put on a reserve for 10,000 yen. I was like, it was $100. It was like, So we would do that. We'd do motorcycle shit too, with all the guys, and it was like, dude, tonight I'm gonna die. Like that was the mentality I had. Like I'm gonna die today. Like I would get on the bikes, everybody would be like chilling and stuff, and then like you're out, you're on Yoko Yoko, you're going towards Atsugi, like the Machida, going to Machida and stuff, and then or going up to Yokota, and we'd be on the highway, dude, and like we used to have this guy named Barry, a couple of the cats that had motorcycles, like they're contractors on Bay. I'm not gonna mention names, but they're not, what's his name? Snow? No, no. Anyway, some of the contractors that were there, they were into motorcycles, so I would go out with them, and we would be on the highway, bro, swimming. I think it's more scary to do that than top speed racing, honestly, on a motorcycle because, dude,
Oh,
it's like.
absolutely.
But the thing is, you could trust Japanese people to drive. Like the people there, they're gonna stay and they're gonna sit there and they're like, I'm a robot. I'm gonna go straight into the road, and it's like here, in Miami, this is how they drive. They're like, that's how people drive down here in Miami. They're not paying attention to nothing except their
So I want to make
radio
a comment
and their
about that.
baby mama.
I want to make a comment about that because I noticed something driving around this past time in Japan. So I was in Japan from this last time from November to January, so almost 3 months. And all that time I have a Japanese driver's license, which I was able to renew, so I still have a Japanese driver's license, which is great. So I was driving around Japan for almost 3 months, and something that I realized that I talked to Dino about when I saw him, name drop, um, is that
Casual.
there's a huge perceptible difference, at least for me, in the way truck drivers are driving on the highway in Japan now. Before, it used to be there was like this sort of unspoken rule agreement. After a certain time of night, the truck drivers stay to the left, the slow
Yeah.
lane, and they don't
Get
move.
away. Yeah, you get away from the right lane. And
And not that.
one of the things we
Mhm.
used to
Go ahead.
do, especially when there's traffic or there's cars, whoever's up front would flash their lights, right? And if like most Japanese people, let's talk about truck drivers, right? The truck drivers are on that same exact route if they're consistently dropping cargo off, like, and they know they have to fly, they have to get down there on Friday or Saturday, right? They know that they're there consistently at 2 o'clock in the morning. They
There's
know
going to be
what's
runners.
about to happen. Yeah, they know that runners, right? They know there's going to be runners on the highway. So what they do, they stay either in the middle lane or they stay on the left lane, and they just stay there the whole entire time. They keep their 80 kilometers per hour, and they don't do anything. They don't switch lanes, like, yo, let me just switch over, or let me just do this. They don't do any of that. They'll stay on their left lane and haul ass. Sorry, my dog's barking. Uh, and so they'll stay on the left lane, and that's it, right? Now you have minivans, people coming in from Disney or whatever. They're not going to be anybody on the road around 2 o'clock in the afternoon and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be kind of like it's a perfect time, and that's the length. There's no cameras from the toll gate all the way to the Wangan, right? So maybe now it's different. I'm not sure, but back then it was pretty notorious. Like
So,
we
so
never
it
had an
used to
issue.
be.
Yeah, we never had
It
an
used to
issue.
be. It is not that way anymore. I drove around Tokyo, and then also all the way down to Odawa, and then up in Saitama, right? And also in Okinawa. Like, the truck drivers don't give a flying fuck anymore. There is zero accord. Like, they'll be in the right lane, they'll do sudden lane changes, they'll go slower than 80 kilometers an hour. And I don't know if it's just to like fuck with the runners, or maybe they're tired about, runners running,
Yeah,
whatever it is. Or maybe there's just
it's
that
not.
maybe it's just a new generation of truck driver
Yeah,
that doesn't care, or, maybe the senpai didn't tell them, like, hey, watch out for the runners at 2 o'clock in the morning on the Wangan.
yeah.
Do this.
You
Whatever the
can't
case may be,
you can't
it's a different
replicate
story
this.
now, and it's crazy.
There's no way to replicate this anymore. Like it's over. Like I mean, you might have your one or two, three, four guys that might go out, have fun, and come back. But what I think, like from my experience and from what I've heard from the Japanese friends that actually kind of still do it, like Masoji will meet up like maybe once a month. You know what I'm saying? They might just to do a meet. You know, they'll do some car events and stuff like that together, some car shows. They'll run. They'll do like these secret little runs. They don't even do it, I don't think, at 2:30 anymore. They'll do it like during the week, right? And like they don't want a spotlight. They don't want to be in the spotlight. They don't want anybody to know that they're doing it. They're doing it just more for fun for themselves, right? And that's what I think what a lot of the teams are doing now. They're just kind of staying quiet because if you get in trouble by a cop now, like it's bad. Like they'll go after your job. You'll go to jail. You lose your license for a year. If you're a foreigner, you're gonna get deported. So there's like I remember from all the Japanese friends that I had that I've talked to, like they told me like, dude, Dan, when you left, it wasn't because of you, but when you left, they started cracking down like hardcore. They were like, "Yo, we got to stop these people from doing this stupid shit." Like it's
Yeah.
cool. It's different like going to Daikoku and hanging out with your friends and stuff, and then they just want to close you down because there's idiots there making crazy ass amount of noise, right? Or the sound is way too much, and I'm like, bro, you're on an island and it's in an industrial zone. There's nobody living here. What are the
Yep.
truck drivers sleeping in their trucks complaining that there's too much noise coming out of Daikoku? Like,
That's
that doesn't
exactly
make
what
any
it is.
sense. Right? Like, that's dumb, right? But anyways, but going back to the story, I'm sorry, this story is very long about the Wangan stuff.
We're on like the seventh tangent, so I think we're
Yeah, I
okay.
know. There's so many stories. It's so yeah, whatever. Just talking, right? Um, just chatting, like Twitch, just
Yeah, we're
chatting.
just chatting.
Um,
Just chatting.
so yeah, we're it's a made up story, right? It's not true. Everything is
It's all
bullshit. Yeah, yeah,
fantasy.
it's all
AI
fantasy.
generated.
Yeah, AI generated right now. So what would happen is when we were racing, going from OA to Daikoku, whoever hits Daikoku first, whoever hits Daikoku first is the Wangan King for that week. Has the title, right? Until next Saturday. We would do it Friday or Saturday. It was kind of like you had kind of like a 2 day, but the official one was like 2:30 Sunday morning, 2:30 a.m. Sunday morning. That was like the official one, right? So we would hit Daikoku. Whoever gets there first technically is the Wangan King, and that was kind of between Masoji and us, and maybe some other stragglers. We had some like nomads and like guys that like just they don't have a team name. They want to race with us. We would check their car out. And there was a rule too. Let me tell you guys the rule. No tint. You can't have tint on your window. You can, in a way, you can get away with it, like if you can have like back tint and stuff like that. But they don't want you to tint your tail lights because you need to be seen. You have to have a fog light. Um, uh, uh, Tags weren't really recommended, but you know, Skylines, if you guys don't know, if you have a Nissan Skyline 32, 33, 34, the back tag, if you take off your bumper, yeah, there's a little bolt on the back. Sometimes whoever put the bumper on kind of put it on correctly and you can't take it off. But what you do is you take the bumper off, you put it back on, and then you unclip the. Some people actually put that bracket behind the bumper. You have to put it in front of the bumper, or on the back
Like
side of the bumper.
one nut.
One nut. You take that up, and you can literally flip your tag up, right? And so the bumper will be here, and you just flip the tag, and you're going to get this. I've seen pictures for cameras, right? Like consistently of my car, and you don't see the tag. Like it's literally good. And then on the front, you would have to have a flipper tag, right? Flipper tag is I have one. It's actually in my box here. I'm gonna put it on the Emperor, and once I get a chance to doing it, 80 kilometers per hour, the tag with the wind will push it, and the spring is literally like calibrated or whatever, so that when it hits like 75, 80, the tag's whoop, you don't see any of it, right? So how to get away from cameras in Japan. Now, this could be completely false. I'm not telling anybody to do this, but back then, they had to take three things of you, right? They had to take a picture of your car, which they're going to get, maybe. If you're going really fast, they're not going to get you. It'll be, they can maybe figure out what car or what color the car was, but they can't figure out what the car was, right? So they had to get a picture of your car, they had a picture of your face, and they had to get a picture of your tag. So let's say you're doing 120, which is like the good.
That's still the case, by the way.
Huh? What's that?
That's still the case, by the way.
Yeah.
It's still the case.
So let's say you're doing 120, you're like, and they get a picture of you like you're on Splash Mountain and stuff. They're taking, driving. What you do is visor. Just put your visor up, and they can't take your picture. You sit back on your seat. The visor's like this. This is what you'll get, like that, right? You'll get like this is what you're gonna get on the picture. I've seen them. I've seen a lot of pictures of me. That was 15 years ago. So it's with a 10-year. What do you call it when?
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, statute of limitations over. So now I can talk about it. So in Japan, right? And then of course the flipper tag's up, right? So I did something even crazier. I used to take the tag off and just put in. I have the picture on my profile. You could see the tag, literally was in my windshield when I'm out. Just put it on my floor and.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that,
a lot
right?
as well.
we used to run like we were avidly like this is where I used to get caught all the time, or at least they took a lot of pictures of me where NCIS came and told me that I got called into the office, man. Like they had a blacklist. I'm not joking. I've seen it, and they had a blacklist of all the street racers, right? That were military. They even had another list that was worldwide at NCIS, right? Like a worldwide like street racing car like fanatic. Now it's all about street takeovers. I guarantee you they got a list for street takeover people that like military people doing street takeovers, and they found out they like put you on the list. So I remember I was on it. My buddy with the Supra, I can't say his name because he's a very high-ranking person still in the military. Another contractor that's in Japan right now, black guy, you probably know who that is. My boy Chad, he's out. He's living in a thing. We were all on it. They all knew us. Like it was bad. Like I was the one that broke the news to everybody, and we slowed down for like a month. Like I was like, yo guys, I got, yo dude, yeah, for a month, and then we went back at it. Dude, I'm like, yo, guys, you don't even want to know what I just saw. And they were like, what are you talking about, Dan? I'm like, yo, bro, we're on, like, how do you call it? We're heated? No, we're flagged, or we're,
Yeah, I think
we're hot. We're hot.
Oh, you're
Like,
hot.
we're hot,
The
dude.
block is hot.
The block is hot, bro. We got to all slow down and everything like that. So we were on that list, and they made me do some stuff. No, not sexually or anything like that. They made me do some stuff
Well, I mean,
for
it is a
them.
movie, so maybe.
Yeah, outside of the military, outside of anything. So I told him, I'm like, bro, I'm not ratting anybody out. And on top of that, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. Yeah, I have an R34 GTR. It's cool, but I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Where's me? You just showed me all these pictures of a silver 34, but there's no evidence of me. How do I know that's even me? I knew it was me.
That's when you say, hey, silver R34 GTRs are super common in Kanagawa, don't you?
Yeah,
think?
dude, I have pictures of my car. I actually showed this on my Facebook page to them, and I was just like, how do you know that's me? And I showed a picture of my car in between 8. We went to a 34-day, 3-4 day at Daikoku.
Ours meeting.
Yeah, ours meeting, but it was at Daikoku, and there was literally 8 Athlete Silver R34 with Z-Tune bumpers in a row. Like they were all the same. Like I'm like, figure out what my car is. You couldn't, except the only thing you could figure out is the bumper was completely blasted, right? So you're like, yeah, that's Dan's car right there. So but and then I even got pictures of them showing blurs, right? But somehow they associated me with that. Well, what we used to do is that when you're going up to Tokyo on the Bayshore route, there's this notorious camera after the tunnel. There's a I think it's near Haneda Airport. There's a tunnel, and you're going past it. There is a camera, like right when you get out of the tunnel, beep, beep, like they got you, right? You're going through it. We always knew that camera was there. We would try to do 300 miles per hour, or 300 kilometers per hour. Yeah, 300 miles per hour. I wish 320 at that toll gate. Like we knew it. We're like, yo, go or stop. Like don't waste your time. So 240, 280 was like the sweet spot for between that area, whereas where you're gonna get a blur. Kind of the cameras aren't just they're not that fast, right? So and we try to go, or you would try to go on the shoulder. And I've noticed this too.
They can't catch you? That's a new one. I've never
Because
heard
the camera only has the camera's taking a picture and it's on the lane. Here, SunPass, they will find out what size your shoe size is inside the car, right? Here in Florida. If you're running in Japan, you can literally take the shoulder, right? The little emergency, they won't take a picture of you. That's another thing you can do too. Which
Damn, I never knew that.
yeah. Because the picture, if you look at the picture, if you ever look at toll gate pictures or speed camera geez, speed trap. I just added 3 the speed camera videos or yeah, and you see it, it's just the lanes. On the side, you maybe catch the wheels going through there or something like that. So that's what we would do. To end the story about the Wangan King thing, you would get to Daikoku. One of the things they what do you call the Japanese thing when you do the paper scissors rocks? What is it called in Japanese?
Junkenpo.
Junkenpo, right? You do Junkenpo, and there'd be like 20, 30 of us. Like sometimes it'd be that big. The race would be that big. It'd be like 30 people going 200 miles per hour on the Bayshore route. I've seen that. Like where's Midnight? This is where I get back to Midnight. Where's Midnight? Not there. You're the most famous team in the world. Everybody's just sitting there double fisting you guys. Midnight, you guys are so cool. Oh, Midnight. Oh my God, you guys are legends. You're legends. And where you at? I've never seen them out there ever, other than being at Daikoku chilling. And I would go up there. I'm like, oh shit, there's a bunch of Midnight cars here. I'm like, yo. Hey, can I race? Can I race? I was that guy, that Baka guy Gene, bro. I was that dude that would always go to Midnight. I was the one pushing. Everybody goes there to like take pictures. Can I have your autograph? I was like, yo, motherfuckers, let's race, son. Where you at? Oh, you're the legends. Come on. I would go up to them like aggressively. I was like, let's fucking race right now. I was like that American like drag racing, like, yo, come on, man, tons bucks, bro. I was doing that in Japan, but I was only doing that to Midnight. I would run up to them and I'm like, yo, I want to race you right now. You guys are fucking slow. I would tell them I would scream at them. And they were like, oh. I'm like, stop being a bitch. Let's fucking race. You guys are these legends. Oh, because you guys got an Option magazine because you guys had a contract with them and you guys are getting all your cars taken pictures of, so you guys become famous and then get on videos, go on Option, take over that fucking stupid top speed circle track and do all this stupid shit so you can get famous, but then when you're actually really racing, you're not fucking doing it. You know what I'm saying? This is where I have a problem with all these people talking about the Midnight and Wangan, and they're like, oh, Midnight is the most. They're better than you. They're better than you. I'm like, bitch, no, they're not. I was the Wangan King for a very long time there. the guys in Masoji were Wangan, the blue Supra, the white Supra, the guy with the bulldog. Remember the bulldog? You guys remember the bulldog? Yo, he's got multiple times. Those guys are real legends. Midnight were legends from the 80s and the 90s, like the 565 crew and shit, and all the other guys, right? They're legends because they're the ones that kind of like started it all. But these guys are doing like,
You say that about 565.
yeah,
yeah.
hold on.
Like,
They were only doing like 180 to 250, 260 kilometers per hour. They were doing top dog shit. They were doing like oh, they went 226. Oh my god, kilometers, not miles per hour, kilometers. Okay, and it's like legendary style racing. I'm like, no, they were racing maybe 2, 3 cars, and then there would be another group. Midnight Club, and they would do like the top speed guys, like the Porsches, like the Blackbird or whatever their cars are. They would do like solo runs, like they would do like crazy. There was one black Porsche, by the way, that did 400 kilometers per hour. There was a video of this. Somebody did 400 kilometers per hour in a Porsche, and it was another Supra.
Crazy.
There was another Supra, but they were by themselves. That doesn't count. Yeah, you can do 400. The 35 that just did 400 kilometers per hour. Okay,
like,
awesome. But you're not racing. You're just racing. You're just going top speed, going fast. And I got a video of myself doing it. Okay, cool. Do it with a group of people. Do it actually in a real race. That's how I call Wangan runners with an S, right? You're in a group. You're in a team.
Ooh, buddy.
You know what I mean? You're in a team,
I like what you're dropping here.
right? You're in a team, and that's how it's supposed to be, right? Back then, not now. You can't do that shit now. Now it's just we're going to run a rally, right? But back then, that's the real fucking legends of the Wangan. The people that would race consistently every fucking weekend. The people not hitting just 200 miles per hour and slowing down. That's nothing. Hold 200 for a minute to 5 minutes with a group of people. That's a real Wangan runner. Not this bullshit midnight that would do all these little events and just to get a thing, and then a couple of them got caught. Hey, I'm gonna get caught so that I can get on the news and I can become famous. Oh, I can build these fucking Porsches and I can build. And no offense, and I'm gonna say something right now. That might be offensive to you, Leo, and I apologize. I love your Porsche. It's one of the greatest cars in the United States of America. I love your car. Okay, but the Porsches in Japan and all the midnight stuff, all the other teams and all this, if you talk to some real Wangan runners, they're going to be like, yo, you barely ever see Porsches out there. If you do, they're running once and then their shit's in the shop. The cars that you would see in the Wangan was Supras, GTRs, of course, RX-7s, NSXs, but very rarely NSXs because those cars would also break down a lot, right? I've actually raced top end back in the day with a GTS 25T, and I outran them, right? Remember, just because they were on a movie or a TV show or whatever doesn't mean that they were like the best people on the planet. That's not true. I'm a eyewitness to this, right? I beat one of the top end cars with the GTS 25T. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I had 2 more cylinders and I had a turbo, but like crazy shit, right? So that's my take on Midnight. Like I've always been the last time I dealt with them, the last time I met up with them, there was like 9 of them. There were R34s, Supras. They had a couple Porsches there. I was just like, oh shit, this is a real meeting of Midnight right here. This is a legit shit. You never get to see this shit unless you go to their shops and their whatever, and you get to see a bunch of them congregating together. But I would go there, and I'm like, at the time I was fucking smoking a cigarette. I try to be Japanese and like, oh, nandayo, kurume sagoi desho, like I was doing one of those. Oh, sugoi kuruma, nandayo, throw it in the fucking, yeah, body kid of this guy, throw the fucking cigarette at their feet, like fuck, yeah. We love Japanese people, bro. I love Japanese people. Yeah, the best people on the planet, honestly, I think.
My wife's Japanese. So
exactly, dude. You even married one. Yeah, I didn't marry one. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so I would go up to them and it's just like, hey. First time I did it, I was like, hey, what's going on? Can I talk to you guys? and they were looking at me like, "The fuck are you?" You know, and because we never showed our face, we never, you can't, right? I'll go, hey, can I race you? So where's your car? The first time I did this, where's your car? What are you driving? And I was like, that 34 that's parked over there by itself with a blasted bumper, you know. And they're like looking at it. I've had them come over. Some of the Masoji or Midnight guys came over to my car and looked at my car. I popped my hood. They saw my car. They were talking. I didn't understand what they were saying. They said some crazy shit, and they were like, "Dame," and I was like, "Why?" You know what they told me? You know what the first words that came out of their mouth? They pointed at the car and said, "Ota." And they're like, "That's not your car. That's Ota's car." And I was like, "Bitch, this is my car." And I'd show my Shaken. I'm like, Daniel, like I was like, "There's my fucking Shaken," right? It says GTR Dan on it. No, no, no. And I would show my Shaken. I'm like, "This is my car." And they're like, "Dame, Ota." And I was like, "Man, get the fuck out of here, bro." And I was just like, I'm like, who cares if it's, if whatever. And okay, leaving that at that, I would keep pushing them. I would go up to them and I was like, "Simasen, race, Bayshore, top speed. You want to go? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go." And they would be like, "Dame, dame, dame." They wouldn't run me every time.
No guy
I
is
would
allowed.
wait. I would
No
wait.
guidance.
I would leave Daikoku because I know they're going back up to Tokyo. I would wait on the side of the road, or
And
where,
snipe 'em.
yeah, dude, I would sit there, and I'm sitting there like this, right? I've done it multiple times when midnight was around. I would sit there on the side of the road, engines running, fog lights off, just chilling, just watching my rear view and watching this. I would do that shit. I would do that on like a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night,
If,
looking for
if
cars.
if there was an anime comic panel of Dan in this moment, it'd be Dan,
Yeah,
dark
I was the
hooded,
guy,
the
man.
shadow,
Dude,
the shadow
I,
right over his face. You don't see it.
look,
You just see is a silhouette of a face.
look, I'm coming out with this shit, but I'm telling you guys right now, like I was serious. Like there's no bullshit. Like I'm not trying to brag about myself and what I did in the past. I'm just trying to set the record straight, dude. I was that guy that was sitting on the side of the road, waiting for cars to come by to race on a Tuesday night at like 9, 10 o'clock at night, just sitting there. I would be on my phone, like looking, and if I hear a car, and I'll be like, "Oh, motherfucker, you coming, bitch? Come on, let's
Dan,
go!" Like on the HKS boost controller, like on the
Wolf
blitz.
Bison from Street Fighter movie. The day
Yeah.
that GTR Dan overtook you on the road. This day of your life.
Yo, I
For
got in.
me,
Yeah,
it was
I
a Tuesday morning.
I mean, I watched. You know what? It's funny. I never watched anything midnight. I never watched animes. I mean, I eventually I did. When I got out and stuff, I was bored and shit when I was going to school. Started watching all these midnight stuff, and I was like, holy shit! I didn't even know this was around, and I was in Japan the whole time. So yeah. So that was the thing. Oh, another tangent that I went on at the end of those races at Daikoku, we were doing the paper, scissors, rocks, right? When you said it was 20, 30 people.
Duncan Poe.
Yeah, Pumpkin Poa. And whoever loses or whoever wins it, right? Yeah, it's whoever wins has to pay either coffees or ramen. I won one time. I was
It's a
almost
good thing ramen's cheap.
no, not when you're spending 20, 30 for 20, 30 people. So you would all go to Yokohama, and there was this little ramen spot that everybody would go to at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. It was always open, and it had enough seating. I had to pay one time, bro. I'm not joking. I was broke that week, bro. I didn't have any money. I was like, yo, bro. I put that shit on my credit card, and I felt so bad because I was like, I don't want to look like that asshole, right? And then Ota would be like, oh, you want me to pay? I'm like, no, 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 no. I got this. I got this. It's my fault, but that's part of being the Wangan thing, right? If you would win, sometimes you would like they wouldn't even do that. They wouldn't make you go get ramen or coffee and you buy coffee for everybody. Okay, you're the Wangan King for the week. Next week we race again and then just keep going, right? Some stories we didn't even care about who's the Wangan King. People would be like, "Oh, you fast. The car's fast." Open hoods, you never open the fucking hood. Leave that shit closed. Some people open the hood and give a shit, right? But we leave our hoods closed. You don't see what the fuck I'm driving. Ota never opened their Emperor. I have pictures of it because one night he got drunk at my house. I took his keys and I've never seen the Emperor, the engine bay of the Emperor. Never saw it. Daikoku at his house driving around, nobody's ever seen his engine. We were like, bro, what is in this car? Like, I know it's a 2.8. We know it's a big T51 SPL, but we don't know what the fuck's in there. It was dirty. Like it was. I'm telling you, it was fucking dirty. Like you didn't give a fuck, right? The car it had 7 motors. That R33. Now technically, I think it's the 8th motor that's in there now. It was brand new. It's a brand new, beautiful garage source motor right now. But before there was 7 engines that went through this R33. That's
The other one was more
insanity.
beautiful.
Right. It's more nostalgia, but honestly,
I'm not
quality
not
wise,
happy not happy with the way that went down.
the
John
look
bought it.
the look is better now. I will be honest. I understand. I like the older motors and stuff like that, but it was in rough shape. If I could share a picture right now, I could show you what it looks like. But what it used to
I
look
mean,
like is
it looked
fucking
rough, but
patina.
I have video of it. I have video of it at USS Tokyo auction that
Yeah.
Danny sent me, and it was idling just fucking fine. That motor did not need to get binned.
Yeah,
Like
that was Matt,
it's
man. That was Matt. Matt at Cultivate Collector decided to take it to Garage Source. I don't think he knew. I honestly don't think he knew that the whole deal with it. But I don't know if Danny was involved with that because I know Danny would have said something, because Danny was eyeballing that car forever, and he wanted the car for himself, like his
yeah,
personal
he
car.
missed out on it
Yeah.
through
And I
some
think Matt
bullshit.
bought it through somebody else, and then he got it, and then he sent it straight to Garage Source. Um, so the story with the 33, if we want to jump into another story,
Yeah,
um,
I just want to talk about
go ahead, sorry.
Midnight
Mhm.
because I have a few things to talk about there and agree with you. Yes, I agree. There was no Porsches, or there was very limited Porsches ever running top speed on the Wangan. During my time, I guess our time, John as well. Whenever we were hanging out mostly at Tatsumi. Tatsumi was the place, and it wasn't exactly like Wangan top speed running was not in its heyday anymore. It was C1, it was the R9 Tatsumi loop
Yeah,
that everybody was doing.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
in vogue during our time. And so
yeah.
like there was a lot of Porsches doing that.
That's racing too.
Uh,
That C1 is the best, bro. Like it's the best. Oh,
I prefer Route 9 the Tatsumi loop over the C1.
Route
Uh,
9's cool too.
be,
Yeah, but the
just
thing is,
because of
you can
it's
get
less traffic
challenges. Yeah, yeah, but
and it's more challengeable.
yeah, that's like we did that. Like when we leave in Daikoku, we have those 4 hours to like do whatever we want. We would do C1 loop. We would do the C1 loop a lot. Like Otami, the boys, everybody. We would just go. We would do a cruise, and we do more outer than inner, right?
Hmm.
And but we would do the loop or then park, then do it again, and then see if we can But then we stopped doing it because like they started posting up these construction trucks all the time for no fucking reason. They're not even working. They're just sitting there like this. There's one dude with a light, a truck, bunch of fucking cones and lights telling you to move,
Nobody
right?
working.
Nobody working, nothing. They're just sitting there. They just make roadblocks for you so you can't race. Like that doesn't happen in Osaka, but in Tokyo, the
Yeah,
Kenjo
that
loop,
was
like
definitely their MO.
yeah, and the Civics, honestly, my personal opinion for C1, I've tried the C1. Ota told me a story about the 34 when he owned it, like back in the day. Uh, that the car for 5 years had the fastest lap time, which he never told me the lap time. I don't know. I can't confirm that, but I remember he told me that he used to race C1 a lot back in the day when he had the 34. Um, when yeah, and he used to race it a lot, and I was just like, all right, I tried it. It was fun. I used to go a lot on the C1. I would do it every other weekend maybe because we try to scatter and do other things.
Yeah.
But the C1 was very popular because you would have always other cars showing up, right? And you would have like an RX-7 come out of nowhere, and it's just like you're on there, you're like, oh shit, and you would see him just fucking book it, and you're like, yo, I want to get you. The brakes
Man,
would just get shot, dude.
I don't really think there was a lot of C1 runners. I think everybody was doing
There
Route
was,
9
there were
Tatsumi
there,
loop.
dude. They were there.
From I maybe yeah. I wasn't really
Oh, in
part of
your
that
time.
whole in my time. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
talking yeah my time.
Yeah.
But also like I didn't really run the C1 specifically a lot. It was more like a cruise warm up for me, only because it was inconvenient for the way that I just routed my drives at night. Like I would never really go into or through Tokyo. It would just be like from like I lived in Zama, right? So Sagamihara, I would take the 16 through down through Yokoyoko, and then to Daikoku,
Hmm.
chill, do Wangan to Tatsumi. Usually, 280 ish was my cruising average speed. And then go to Tatsumi, do loops, and that would be I would just do loops and then go back through Tatsumi or through Daikoku, right? And so like I never really went through C1 or any of that stuff. But I will say, and I will validate you even further, saying GTRs and Supras were the runners of the Wangan in my time as well.
Hmm.
If you were running and if you were doing anything, you were in a GTR
Supra
heavy,
RX-7.
especially in R35. R35's like 2000. This is 2011 to 2020, right? And so like the R35 tuning scene had just expanded, expanded, expanded. Everyone was doing that. MCR, Top Secret, Phoenix Power, the Kanzai guys. Everyone was in the R35s, and they were honestly the fastest.
Yeah. The thing
I,
is,
I remember I remember our friend Johnny. He still has an R35. He lives in Monterey now. He has a Top Secret built R35 GTR. Me and him were on the Wangan one night, and I had no business doing anything. He was running 700 horsepower, and my R32 at peak was 540 at 19 psi, just to give you specifically. And in the time that it took me to downshift once, he did like 3 taps and was like 400 meters down the road. I was like, never again am I fucking with an R35 because that's just ridiculous. You
and
just boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
boom.
the secret of long gun running, like if you want to do top speed stuff, it's not all about horsepower and how much power because you're not really. Yeah, at the beginning of it, you're getting off the line and you're going with your buddies and you want to kind of keep with them. You want to stay with them, right? But you're not like lining up and launching the car and going, or you never do that shit, right? There's no need. There's no need to two-step and fucking, do the stupid shit that everybody does here in the States. Um, we would all cruise together at first to warm the cars up, and then like, if you see one dude go, it's like go. You know what I'm saying? Like then everybody starts picking
Right.
up at their pace. So, you know, I always used to tell people back in the day about Wangon shit that was it's about your gearing, how your dips are set up and how your transmission's set up. 5.6 has to be like modified.
Facts.
On Anubis, the car that's for sale still, that was my old R34 GTR that was athlete gray and then I painted it black. The reason why I
It's
painted
in
it
the
black,
UK now, right?
it's in the UK now. They're trying to sell it for 90,000 euros, which I actually got in that
Golly.
car. Yeah, I kind of got in an accident with that car, and the whole time where I started getting pulled over and I started getting stupid shit happening to me, I decided to paint the car black. That's the story behind Anubis, like why I named it Anubis, like the Egyptian god of the underworld, right? That because I painted it black. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't. I was trying to look up names, and I was just like, man, what am I gonna name this car, man? I gotta name it like something crazy. Like I looked it up. There was nobody with the word Anubis, so I was just like, yo, that's a cool name. It's a cool god from Egypt, mythology and stuff like that. So I was like, yo, let me name it Anubis, and it's black. And I was gonna do eventually, I was gonna put like gold stickers on it, so it kind of looks like a pharaoh, like the black and gold.
That would be dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I never got around to doing it. And back then, doing vinyl wrap was actually pretty fucking expensive. Like getting a sticker made or anything like that in Japan was. I was just like everybody that I talked to, they were charging me like $300-400 for a sticker. I was like, yo, you crazy? Now you can get it done for 5 cents. Like nothing. But so they had that going on for them. Anyway, so but yeah, that was a story about Anubis, like at the beginning, that time where I had a car accident and I hit a guardrail. I was actually going to BR to go get some new tires, and I was going around a corner, and it's on the forums. It's on GTR Registry or something like way. It's buried somewhere in there, or the GTR Life forums, I think. I don't know. I was trying to sell the car, and I went around the corner and Big E was with me in the car. We were going up to BR to see my son, which of course our IP passed away um, at B Racing because they were the guys that were building my cars. That's the only person I would let touch my car is BR because what's his face, the tall dude that used to work there. I don't know Japanese names I can't remember for shit. And he was one of the best engine builders, one of the best high performance builders that I've ever met. The guy was super cool. We would drink together. We were always getting drunk. I've been with mines like we yakiniku drink like now it's like these guys are legends, they're famous, and all that. But back then, like, dude, it's funny. A story that I heard about all these tuners in Japan. Do you know they all went to school together?
Probably.
Yeah, like Top Secret, BR, mine, some of the D1 guys. They were all in the same class and all the same school together. And that'd be so cool to like figure out if that's true, and then two, what was the reasoning? Like they were all like talking together in a little group. They're like, yeah, we're gonna make high performance shops, and that was one of my dreams to start my own performance shop, which I wanted to go a certain route with NER Performance. NER was V-Spec 2 NER, took the NER and then put performance. That's
Hmm.
that was what NER was. Everybody's like, a Nürburgring shop, it's all Germans. No, we're not doing German cars. Yeah. So, that was one of my dreams to start a Japanese like influenced shop. Well, it doesn't work. Owning a performance shop is probably the worst idea you could probably ever do unless you got mega money. Like if you got a half a mil chilling in the bank and you want to open a performance shop, okay, you're good, right? But if you're starting off with like I did, I started off with $3,000 to open up my own shop. I bought a lift, I bought some tools, and that's all I could get. And then my buddy gave me a spot. It was $600 a month. I was like, I can afford that. I got VA disability. So I was like, I had no job when I got out. I was like, I got no, I went to AM competition. That's where I learned how to build R35s, right? So I'm technically a master R35 GTR builder, right? I know that car. I can get up to 25. I've never done a 3,000 horsepower car. The most I've done was 2100, 2120, I think it was 2130. It was the most horsepower I built. But that car, don't fuck with me. That car, I know everything about it. Everything. I'm talking about how many layers of metal are in between the frames on the pillars on the frame. Like I know that. Like I know. Give me a bag of bolts. I tell everybody, give me a bag of bolts. Take all the bolts off the GTR, put it in a bag of bolts. I could tell you where every single bolt goes to. Maybe not an exact spot, but where the location of that bolt goes. Even the front cover, because like if you look on the VR front cover, there's like 1,000 fucking different types of bolts on there. It's about six, but there's all different types of bolts. I know where everything goes because I've done them so many times. Right, I've built those cars so many times. So going back to the gearing is very important, right? And so with 35, the GR6 is I love the transmission, but it's a terrible transmission, right? Because you got to dump stupid money into it, right? You don't need a Pro Max to do Wangan. Like Pro Max is like big power stuff. Like you're talking about like 16, 17, 1800 horsepower. You need like a good setup. You need good gears. What do what do you call those gears? Damn it, brain fart.
Synchros?
No, not synchros. Not a
Clutch
dog.
packs?
No, not clutch pack. The straight cut gears. You need straight cut gears. But then you have to ask when you get the straight cut gears from Dodson, you have to ask them if you want to do top speed. 5 and 6 have to be whatever ratio you think is best to get to that top speed. You can ask them, they can change the ratio, but you're going to pay more money because they have to redo it, right?
Wait, how many did you run in straight cut gears in your cars?
Uh, Here in Florida, I've done it. I've done at least.
Nobody in Florida is running straight cut gears.
Yeah, they are.
Who?
Kevin,
Okay,
Kevin, a GTR is pushing 15, 1400.
I have literally never seen a GTR with straight cut gears,
Yeah.
unless it was a totally different box. Like if you're talking like a
Well, is it
PPG.
straight cut? I mean, no, it's Datsun. Datsun. You don't use PPG shit for GTRs. I'm sorry, somebody might get hurt. if
I'm
they're
just
listening to
saying.
this. Like I've had so many PPG failures on GR6s. Um, Drag racing, right? We're talking about drag racing, not top speed, none of that shit.
Are we talking about the same thing?
I
Because
think
like
we're not talking about the same thing. I think
straight
we're
cut gears make so much noise.
yeah, they're
Sounds
whining
like
like crazy. Yeah, 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 yeah,
sounds
yeah.
like you
Here.
have a supercharger. Like worse or better depending on your perspective.
It's not that bad. I built Kevin's car and they had those gears. I could tell you exactly what I'm talking about. Give me 1 second. Um, I remember he calls me like he gets in the car. He open checkbook. I want 1500 horsepower, or I wanted. He said he wanted 1300, 1400 ish, right? I was like, okay. I got him 1500, but I dropped the tune down so that I don't want the car's still going strong now. Um, so yeah. So he got in the car with his girlfriend or now wife, and he calls me like 20 minutes down the road. And he's like, "Yo, dude, I think my transmission's broken." I was like, "What are you talking about, Kevin? The transmission's, dude, everything's brand new in that transmission. Clutch packs. I think it was like 16 clutches. Stupid money into that thing, right? I think he spent like $42,000 on the transmission, which is ridiculous, right?
Damn.
And
Damn.
and
Damn, son. Good
here,
on that.
I'm just saying the only company I know that even makes straight cut gears for these things is
precision.
PPG.
It says here. So they have the heavy duty, extreme duty, and insane duty.
What are we talking about?
The gearing for inside the GR6 trans, and then it says here
The GRs.
GR6. Optimized tooth design, overdrive
I have
fits
no idea what you
gear.
guys are talking about, so
No, this is okay. So
Right.
the GR6 is the transmission that's inside the R35 GTR, right? The
I do
GR6.
know
It's
the nomenclature,
it's actually built by Borg Warner. Is the transmission that Borg Warner actually helped design that with a couple other companies, but um, it's gear input shaft.
Is it made by PRP?
No, no. PRP does not design that. Datsun. There's a company called Datsun in Japan, in
Augie.
New
I
Zealand or Australia.
I thought you were saying Datsun like slang, like referring to all these Nissans as
Oh
Datsuns.
no,
And I was
dude,
like,
Datsun.
you did not get straight cut gears from Nissan.
No, 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 no,
That's
no,
what
no,
happened.
no,
Come on,
no,
John.
no, no, John, dude, come on,
It
bro.
was like Dots. What?
Fucking Navy guys, bro. I'll tell you what, man. Uh,
That's so funny.
yeah, they're
You
they're
guys can't even
precision
speak the
cut.
same language. Look at you all.
Yeah, they're
Precision
precision
cut gears.
precision cut
Yeah,
gears, which is straight cut. It's same
It's
shit.
got straight cut. I'm looking at them right now. Now that I know the name.
Yeah. So those are,
So yeah,
and
anyway.
they whine like crazy. So he's like, "Yo,
Yeah.
dude, my transmission blew up," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? Is your car moving forward?" He's like, "Yeah, it's shifting, no problem." And I'm like, "But there's this crazy noise coming from the rear of my car." I'm like, he's freaking out. I'm like, "You paid for that. I told you 3 times that your transmission is gonna start making noises. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It sounds like if you put a passenger in there, like, hey man, your car sounds like horrible. It's like it sounds like a sequential almost, but not as
It
aggressive.
winds to the
Yeah,
Tokyo
dude.
Drift.
I love that sound. Oh, yeah.
I love
Ying
that
yang
sound.
staining yang.
I love that sound for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
You know what I mean?
can you imagine like driving, you know, 2 hours to your mom's house or something like
Yeah,
that?
dude. I can. I love it.
Like
I want to put a sequential in the Shark, bro. I'm telling you, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use
yes,
a Sonus. I think Sonus, right? Sona. Forgot the name of it. It's like the cheapest one you can get. It's like 5 grand instead of like 20,000. It's a Sona, but it's really good. Like the drifters use them.
like
All the D1.
the faux
I'm,
quinchel or the
No. It's a
I'm gonna
box.
cut
It's
both of
got
you off right here.
okay.
Shut the fuck up with you. I'm gonna use Dan segue at saying he's got the shark. Dan, what is a shark? What is your shark? What are you talking about? Can you tell us?
yes.
Because like you saying the emperor, and I just want to let people know who the emperor is. The emperor is LM R33 GTR painted 1000R. It's not a true LM, I know, but it's painted LM color. It is the sickest R33 GTR to ever grace Tokyo Wangan. It is now in the hands of Dan via RMC
I,
Miami.
I saved it.
Thankfully, through the grace of God and my shit talking at a certain car week a few years ago with Cultivated Collector behind me unknowingly, I was talking shit. And luckily,
Yeah.
he
Everybody
got
asked me,
the car.
how did you get that car? And I was like, magic. Magic. Like
By the power of the universe,
Yeah.
that
And I'm
car
not
came
telling.
off of some undeserving hands,
Yeah.
and now it is
And I'm not,
yours.
and that's something I will never talk about how I obtained that car. But yeah, I'll tell you how I'm going to sell it. One day I will sell it. I will tell you that it is going to be called for sale. Unfortunately, you know, that's a car that I love that car. It's amazing. I've had some good seat time in it now. And Ota, I saw him 2 weeks ago, right when I went to Japan. The Emperor is a legend. That car literally deserves to go back to Matt and stay in his little museum that he has or whatever, or a collector to like sit and rot. That, I honestly, that car shouldn't be driven. Like I am driving it now. I've beaten. I actually did 200 the other day, by the way. I actually took it to the you know, I buried the old needle went
Nice.
down, and
Right,
I have
you went
video.
for the Talon Stallion too.
Danny's brother videoed it. He was doing this. He was like, Danny's brother, Max. Max is like,
Yeah.
and then pow, you hear the car, and then he's like, oh shit, I missed it, like that, and then all you see at the end of the video is like a big fireball, like boom, boom, like that, like when I was going around on the turnpike. That was it. Done. I'm not doing that ever again. That was just a one-time thing. I told the guys, I'm like, yo, that was one time. I'm not doing that shit again. But it felt good. It felt good. Yeah, it was good.
That car
Memories.
at touched the
PTSD
aura
kicked
whenever
in.
it pulled up to Tatsumi, man. Like
Yeah.
everybody stopped.
Yeah.
The R9 guys stopped. So like Tatsumi was run like the R9 car racing club. I think they're a racing team now. They do more track stuff. R9 guys, but they were the dudes that like filled up Tatsumi,
Yeah.
and they would do the Tatsumi loop. And their thing was if you could do it in 9 minutes from Tatsumi loop back to Tatsumi, you could be in their little club.
Yeah.
Doing the R9 in 9 minutes, by the way, is fucking flying.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's a plain statement. It's you're fucking flying. You're playing.
Yeah.
But when Ota showed up, whenever he did to Tatsumi in that R33, everybody stopped.
Yeah.
Like the air became calm. There was just like it was crazy.
Yeah.
And
The
like
guy, the
that.
guy's a 565 member, man. Like he was one of the original OGs, man. Like Ota, like he was doing this shit. And by the way, Ota was driving around with no driver's license, just to let you guys all know.
Oh yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like that's how bad it is. Like he got his license
That was
taken, like
565's
done.
MO.
Yeah. So
So funny you mentioned 565 Dan because John here actually go kart with Iga-san of 565
nice.
and Carl.
Iga-san's, well, I don't know. Carl wasn't technically a member of 565, wasn't he?
He is Iga-san's
Associated.
guy.
Associated.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but Iga is Carl's senpai from my understanding
Hey,
of our interaction.
he
We
he
had
had the
to
pink. Yeah. He had the pink sticker or the rainbow sticker, right? Like Masoji. Like Masoji, if all the Masoji means over 30, right? I think that's from what I understand. Masoji, when they would have their recruits, right? And Masoji was like a big official team, like it was a big fucking team, right? Bigger than Midnight,
Masoji,
that's for sure.
You could translate Masoji to 30 OG. Me is 30 over 30.
Over 30, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So they had about 12, 13 members. It was Masoji Elite, right? Masoji would be like that was their team. So you'd see the big I called it the big penis with the guy sitting on the rocket like yee So because I used to call them Chinese people, like it was hilarious because Japanese hate being called Chinese and the Chinese hate being called Japanese.
Absolutely.
So I used to talk shit to them all, like just joking around, nothing crazy. Which I could talk about that story, what happened, that big fight that we had with Masoji when we kind of went south after that. but it was like 2010-ish time frame. Anyways, but they would have another group of members that were the guys trying to become part, like the Masoji Elite guys, right? So they would see the sticker would have a rainbow, so it's called Masoji Rainbow, right? Those are the guys that were part of the team that were trying out to become part of the elite group, which it takes years to do that. Right? You have to be out there consistently running. You have to be dumping money. Like you have to be like, I want to be, like Midnight, right? I want to be like Midnight, but this is the only team I can be part of right now because these are the only guys that are running, really running was Masoji. They were the only team, really big team that was actually out there beating the living shit out of these cars, right? Like abusing them. Like I'm not like the super guys were the notorious ones. I think
Oh yeah.
the team was surrounded by like
Those dudes are fucking maniacs.
the pedestal guys. The pedestal guys were the Supras. The Supras in their team. They were the best. The boss man, the boss of Masoji, bro, he had a GT3. That car could not hit 210 or 210 miles per hour if his life depended on it. He could hit 200, but we all knew. Like he had that white with green stickers. That car hit 200 all the time. But when he's at 200, you're overpassing him. But he was the boss of the team, I guess. I don't know. I think he's the one that started it. I'm not a big fan. I've met him a bunch of times. I've drank with him,
I don't think I've met the president of Masoji.
smoked cigarettes with that guy. Yeah, he's just big dude. He's got like, I might have a picture of him somewhere. So a quick story, side note, he's wrecked. Oh, hi Sammy. Samuel L. Jackson, by the way, guys. There's Sammy right there.
Samuela?
No, Samuel L. Jackson. I'm not joking. That was his birth certificate. When I adopted him, that somebody. Thanks, Sammy. Guest appearance, right? So he's supposedly. I've been there for one accident, but he's wrecked 3 GT3 RSs. When I say wrecked, I'm not talking about like, oh, I got an a fender bender or I was going fast and I hit a wall. No, I'm talking about the big bank from Chiba going around and then you start going south on Bayshore.
Oh yeah.
It's
the
big.
One don't take faster than like
Yeah.
240 kilometers an hour because if you do, you'll absolutely never make that turn.
2 times there and then another time somewhere else. The one time that I saw this,
I've heard a lot of people wreck
right there,
like back in the day.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
Spot.
Yeah, you're doing maybe max is like
Wreck
240. You want to do like 240 kilometers per hour around that corner, not 300.
That turn is very deceiving because like
Yeah.
you think it's banked enough for you to be able to have it.
It's not banked enough. It's not.
It's not.
It literally it's like a slight bank and then it goes in, right?
Because it's kind of inclined. You're like kind of doing like one
Yeah.
of these, but it's like
The car's inertia is going to get pushed too much and then you lose control of the car. That's very important. You got to understand.
FR,
Yeah.
If you're in a GTR, it don't matter.
Maybe if you're
Teruma's
aerodynamic.
son I've heard Teruma's son has crashed over there. Him or his brother.
Yeah. And he had a crash that his debris field was at least, I would say that whole entire turn, there was probably a debris field from like, how would I say it in maybe, I would say maybe a quarter mile debris field. This dude was sitting in his car. The Porsche, it kind of breaks apart when you get in a massive accident, right? The engine goes flying backwards. The front of the car can get ripped off very easily. If you guys saw the Nürburgring video that I made about the Porsche, that thing just disintegrated in midair, right? And that's how they build them. They're lightweight. You have to look at the center line of the car and how the weight distribution within the car. That's why that car, the GT3, is such an amazing car on the track, is because it's perfectly balanced, right? And when I tell Porsche owners, don't just go get a regular alignment, go get a corner balance alignment because the car needs that so that it keeps its true form and the center line is equal to to what your type of racing you're trying to do, right? That's very, very important when you're building your car. It's not just power, like you just fucking throw a fucking boost at it. And that dude, you got to look at everything around your car. It's not just that, So I remember seeing him. He was sitting in his car, still holding the steering wheel. The dash was there. The roll cage was there, but the doors were missing. Glass was completely gone. The roof was completely gone, and you just see this dude
Still hugging the steering wheel.
like
Alive.
in a coma, bro. The guy was in a coma, and within like I think three, I don't know the time frame he was in a coma for, but he was in the hospital for a long time. When he got out, the story went. I wasn't there for that, but the story goes that dude had a brand new GT3 RS chilling, built, ready for him to go as soon as he got out of the hospital. That's how that team used to operate, right? They were always looking after each other. That's part of the team. It's like a big family, right? You're a big family. If you need help, somebody needs help. Hey man, someone went to jail. Hey everybody, put money down on the table. We're gonna go bail them out. You know, what do you got? $1,000? Or what do you got? $10? Put it in the table. Like we got to do something for it's our team member, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that shit here in America. You don't see that. Maybe a friend that has good money can do that for somebody, you know, whatever. But it's like the whole team comes together and gives that money. You know, hey, his car got destroyed. Let's get him a new car. You know, like my team when I blew. You remember the Chiba, the drag spot we were just talking about? I blew
Yep.
my motor there. My 34, I had a 2.8 step 3 stroker from HKS. I blew up the fucking motor there. Like blew it up. Like rod went out the side. I was drag racing. Have you ever told you this story about when I blew my motor? You know how I got back to Yokohama? I didn't want to pay. I didn't have money to pay for a tow. It was like $1,500 tow, and I was like, bro, I don't got money like that, bro. I did, but I was putting money into the car. I needed to buy
Right.
oil and all this shit. So and Ota was like, oh, and he didn't want to pay for it either. I think he was struggling with money too. It was me, Ota, Biggie, all the guys were all drag racing there, and I raced Russell with a Mines built R33, but it was a drag built. He had a replica of the 34 mines, but it was in the 32. He had every single part off that 34, but it was in the 33 or
That's pretty cool.
32, right? Yeah, and Brian, everybody's talking about mines all the time and all this and all that. Brian's wife was like cousins with the owner of Mines. He was a military guy too. He's here in the States. He's retired and all that. And dude, they were meeting up like every weekend. They had Mines come to the hobby shop to take a dampener bolt off his crank because he was putting a ATI dampener on. And one of the main tech from Mines, the guy that built the 34, came to the hobby shop to do that there. That's how much pull Brian had with Mines, right? You hear something like that, like, yo, what? It's Mines. Oh my, I lived
Yeah.
fucking 5 blocks away from Mines. It wasn't a big fucking deal. It's just another performance shop. Now it's like they're legends. You know,
The
getting a
neighborhood tuner
you got to
shop.
spend $500,000 just to get an R34 that has
Oh
Mines
God,
on it.
let's not
Yeah,
talk about built by lesbians.
yeah, built by lesbians. Yeah. So you know, you know, and so you know, that's how it used to be. I had when I blew my motor up, my car was done in 2 weeks. I had a brand new motor in there. I had a different stroker kit. I had a Tomei stroker kit at the time. It was a 2.7, because that's all the team that could afford the shop. I didn't. I paid $1,000. I,
It's
I
wild in today's
I
today's
didn't have
world.
any money. I blew the motor up. I didn't have any money. I was like, yo, I could put $1,000 on this car. Ota put money down. Everybody put money down for me. They got me a brand new N1 block. They got me brand new pistons, rods, crank, everything. I think the crank we saved the crank. They did some Frankenstein in the shop that built Ota's car. And by the way, a lot of people don't know this, and I'm making it official here. It was called TACT, TACT. It was a one-man show. Old guy. I have pictures of him. And by the way, Leo, I would like to give you these pictures, and then maybe you
Yes,
can add
please.
them to this video, and you know what I'm saying? We gotta go back and look at them so you can add them to them. A little history, right? Um,
Absolutely. Yeah,
so
and you could put them on the our Discord server.
yeah, I'll put them on
We'll,
there. So
like for
so
our
you
Discord
have them,
server,
so
we have them.
people, yeah, so it makes it a little bit back up the stories and stuff like that. So what was I gonna say? The
Tact.
Tact. Yeah. So it was a dingy little shop. The guy used to work for Tomei supposedly, got fired from Tomei, and then like, he started his own shop like everybody else does, right? Um, so I blew my motor. How did I get back from Chiba, from the drag spot, right, all the way to It was the Tact was in where was BR at? Machida? It was in Machida.
Machida.
Machida. His shop was at near that PA near Machida, the big PA, the big parking lot that you go over and then the PA's like right here. I forgot it's
Yep.
real famous.
It's Ebony, PA. Ebony.
Ebonu, right? It's right next to it, like literally right
Yep.
there, right
Remember where
in the
BR is.
cut, in the cut.
I went
Not
down
no
there
no no
pictures
no
of
no
it.
no no not BR Tac. Tac was that near that
Oh,
PA.
Pack was in Ebony? I did not know
Yeah,
that.
it was
No
hiding
way.
behind. Like you can literally jump the fence, go, and then you're right there in the shop.
What?
You know how we did it? Nobody knows this, and this is I think I might have mentioned it on Instagram, but you know how we did this? We got two ropes, the Emperor and Anubis. Okay, I tied a rope to the strut bar on Anubis and a strut bar to the Emperor, and we literally drove on the Wangan towing. I had the car running for a certain period of time, and then that bitch just fucking just got stupid hot, right? Something was going on, and they were like, "Yo, Dan, you shouldn't have left the car running." After I blew the motor up, but I left the car on, like not the engine wasn't running, of course, but I had the ignition on.
Cars on.
Something was going on with the car. I didn't know. When I saw the pictures, I was like, I just blew everything up, like just fucking 10,000 RPM launch. I did it 3 times in a row. Yeah,
Damn.
you can rev it
Jesus
up. You
Christ.
can rev it up to 10,000 or 9,500. You can rev it up there, but you can't launch at 9,000.
No
I
shit.
didn't know a lot about drag racing back then, and I decided, you launch at like 4,000, not fucking 9,000, right? So I was just like, fucking go! Dump the clutch, boom! So what happened was the clutch broke on the third run, and I was racing Russell or Brian. His name's Brian. I was racing him, and he was getting me, bro, right off the line. His car was set up for drag. Mine was not set up for drag whatsoever. I didn't even have launch control, nothing. I had nothing, none of that shit. So I'm just sitting there, you know, and I wasn't watching RPM, and the RPM was just pegged. Fucking just bow, bow, and then the third one, bah, and I went down this strip, and then I heard something go
373.
snap. I heard something go boom. And I was like, oh shit. And then I started slowing down in the car. I should have turned the car off right then and there. I didn't. I just let it run. And dude, it just fucking cranked, just fucking destruction, fatality, like I was just like, oh no. And then we kept the head. The head was actually in good condition. There was a couple like little spots and stuff. They welded it up, sanded it down. But then they sent that. We drove back to Machida with the strap connected to our cars, and we just
That's wild.
the Emperor
GTR
pulled
pulling
me.
GTR.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, crazy story.
That's
The shark. You want to know about the? Yeah, the shark.
Yeah, let's talk about the shark and then we'll end it there
Okay.
as a finisher.
So the car is still in Japan. It's my 2000
So what is
R34.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an 2000 Series 2 R34 GTR Nissan Skyline. Um, it's not a V-spec. It's just a regular car, regular chassis. It was built by AutoSelect down in Osaka or Nagoya or wherever. Sawa-san built it himself, and it was a special build. Um, it wasn't just like a customer coming in, hey, I want to build an AutoSelect car. Can you do it? There's plenty of those around. This car was built for a circuit racer. It was built specifically for time attack, and later on became a Wangan car at the end of its life with the ex owner. So the car did a minute. I gotta go back. Don't quote me on this. I did a minute 48 on Fuji, which getting sub twos on Fuji
fast.
is pretty fucking fast. Supposedly, from the research that I've done, it's probably either the third or fourth fastest R34 privately owned by a company or by a owner that ever hit Fuji Speedway an R34 wise, right? So that's pretty fast.
You
Sub
done that
twos,
time.
right?
That's pretty quick.
Right, that's pretty quick. He did win Fuji GP first place. That's why if you go back on my Instagram, there's a sticker on there, Fuji GP. He won it. There's a trophy for the car. He's done it multiple times. The guy, all he wanted to do was circuit race. He wanted to be he loves it. He loved it. The car is a 2.8 HKS. I believe it's just a step two now. It used to be a step three, now it's a step two, which It's not a big difference, but price there is, but the crank's differently balanced, right? Um, it has a T88 style turbo on it. It's the same size, except it does a little bit more. It doesn't. It's not laggy. Um, a lot of gritty parts on it, which I'm going to remove. The transmission is a 6-speed, but the gearing is different, which is cool. I'm not going to talk about gearing because that's something I do not let those numbers out. Front rear diff. It has a twin plate clutch in it. I think they just put that clutch in there just for the car to drive. But I will be getting a triple plate. I'll probably be doing a sequential eventually. Um, the car has Lexan windows. It doesn't have glass whatsoever. Um, the my favorite.
Serious. That's a serious
Yeah,
car.
you don't put Lexan on a car for no reason. Like you gotta, and that shit sucks. It really does, but it's a cool feature because it's like you're losing like 180 pounds, I think, of worth of maybe 100 pounds or 150 somewhere around there worth of glass. It was like, everything's carbon fiber on it. The doors supposedly are carbon fiber because when I open them, they just like, you know, you know, they just open up like I'm like, yo, where's the stopper on this? This door just opens up like it was nothing, and I'm like, yo, I think these doors are carbon. I couldn't tell. I had to take the panel out, but we'll find out. And my highlight of the car, which are, one of the pieces body wise, is the front fenders that are customized, Z-Tune carbon fenders that are custom made. AutoSelect does it. Is the brake system? The brake system is 6-piston front, 6-piston rear, monoblock, endless brakes. That's like
Oh
26.
damn!
That's 26 grand, like back in the day, just on braking system. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, I got the car from Global Auto. I got the car from Global Auto. Andy from Power Vehicles was the one that actually found the car. Danny was the
Shout out
one
to
that
Andy.
co-signed on the car for telling me. I got called 2 o'clock in the morning. I was telling the guys, and I tell everybody this: don't buy a stock GTR in Japan unless you got stupid money. Okay? All these guys that want to buy Skylines and all these guys that want to buy GTRs and import them, look, buy a heavily modified Skyline. Don't worry about the motor as much
Yeah.
because there's parts on
Fuck
that
yeah.
car that you'll never be able to get again. I have a Kia Formula suspension, Wangan spec coilovers, which are 5G. Well, now I think they're cheaper because they're trying to come out. They have a cheaper version of it, and the other version is obsolete now that you can only get the A box springs they put on there, whatever. Before I have the blue springs and they're completely different. Those are 5 grand. Um, find a car that you want to buy, a JDM car import that is modified. So the Shark was dubbed the Shark from Sawa Sun and everything like that, because it's actually technically a replica of the Tiger Shark, the yellow car, except it's just privately owned. So it's, I wouldn't say is as fast as the Tiger Shark, but or his motto, his
The
mascot.
demo car.
Yeah, it's not as
Yeah.
fast, I don't think, because the weight distribution, and that's a full-blown track car. My car has interior and everything in it. It had a roll cage. Global took it out. I don't know why, but I'm gonna get a custom-built roll cage. But
You
eventually,
want
I
me to
want to.
build it for you?
Oh yeah, that's right, dude. I can weld
I'm a
too, bro.
fabricator now.
Yeah, congrats, by the way. But
Thank you.
I want to eventually make my car like that. I'm saying and I'm technically now in a way, not on paper yet, but I'm a auto select ambassador for the company. Once the car lands
Nice.
here, so Sawa-san
Sure.
told me that I can represent auto select here in the United States. So I'm like, sweet. So I got one of the top dog cars from auto select. So um, it is what it
Do you
is.
plan on tracking it?
I would like to. All depends on funding because that's what it
Hmm.
depends on, right? Tiring, brakes. You know what I'm saying? If I can get a sponsorship with a brake company that fits brakes, okay. If I can get a sponsorship with tires, okay. If I can get fuel, I can pay for, right? All that stuff. But I need like
You
maintenance
already got
stuff,
me with
like
Motul,
oil,
right?
maybe, maybe. I'm not gonna talk about that, but maybe. I've been using it since '03. It's the best oil you can probably use. 300V, number one,
Amen.
all day.
Motul 300V competition 15W50, either in a
Done.
GTR or a Porsche. That's what you
Supra,
want.
2J,
Also, motorcycles.
motorcycles, 300V
Yep.
is the best oil out there. Liquid Moly is good. I'm not gonna liquid moly or whatever you want to call it. Liquid Moly isn't bad for Beamers and stuff like that. Uh, even Amsoil is pretty good. Driven's a really good oil. But on top, my personal opinion, and I've experienced it, I put this oil to the test. 200 miles per hour for 5 minutes running this oil. Nothing happened.
I second
You
that.
you pull the oil out and it's like still goldish. But of course, I used to swap it out anyways. I was just wasting oil. Like I didn't care. I want fresh shit in my car every time I go on the Wangan. I wanted fresh oil. Transmission diffs 6 months. Engine oil every week. Imagine how much
So
300V I
when's it
bought.
landing?
What's that?
When's it landing?
So it's probably going to be here sometime in January. I'm trying to push so that it's a December 2000 car, and I made a mistake. I don't know if you remember on Instagram, 140 days left, and I thought it was in September, but I read the VIN number wrong like an idiot. And Andy's like, bro, we're not. The car should be shipped out. I should be getting the car the first of next month, right? No, I gotta wait till December to get the car shipped. Or we can try to. He's very skeptical about this because he's really scared. He'd rather me wait a month and then get the car and not have any issues. Because if you do import a car early before the 25-year law, especially here in Jacksonville, they'll impound the car and you can't get it back. You have to get like 20 lawyers to try to get that car back from you. You know what I mean? So
That's
I
wild.
I don't want to. But the 1st of January, technically the 1st of December, it's legal here. And we got that
Awesome.
10% tariff now and all that, so or that 2.5 with
No,
Danny and everything.
it's
So
seven. It's gonna be set. It's gonna be 17.5% for you then. The new tariff is 17.5%. He just
but if you're
announced it like a
if
couple
you
weeks ago.
import it yourself, if you go through a company, I don't think you pay that.
I think that no, that's the duty fee now. Look at.
That is.
Are we still up in the air with who? How? I think so.
I haven't gotten a straight answer on. I don't think I paid it
That,
on the last RX-7 that I brought in.
that what from Danny?
So
We only got to
the
pay
way it is now.
2.5.
So the way it is now, if the car is on the vessel prior to the 7th of August, which we're at the 8th of August, so if it wasn't on the vessel before yesterday, you pay the normal, what is it, 2.5%.
Yeah.
But if it's on a vessel after October 7th, don't ask me why there's a 3 month difference between when it's on or off the vessel. But if it's if it's leaving Japan after October, you are paying 2.5 that was already plus the 10% plus now an extra 5%. So like it's actually the reciprocal tariff tax is 15% plus what was already established 2.5. So it's 17.5.
Yeah.
What's that?
So
What is it applying to?
Any used car. This is used car specific.
yeah. So
Interesting.
I
I'm gonna
talked
be
to
screwed because
I talked to a broker about it yesterday over in Long Beach. So
yeah, I'm gonna be screwed. So I don't know. That's a lot of
I think
money.
you might be okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for me, and I don't know the fate of the shark, but I'm definitely bringing it here, but it might not be registered because remember, you still got to pay 6% on top of that
oh shit. So yeah, I
sales
want to say,
tax.
and to anybody listening to this, I want to say, go with whatever your broker says because at the end of the day, it's whatever you get
Yeah,
invoiced. I know different ports of entry are enforcing it in a different way or interpreting it in their own way, and so what you would pay in Long Beach or what I would pay in Long Beach is not the same as what you
yeah.
would pay in
Frank,
Jacksonville or what John would pay up north in
yeah.
New Jersey,
Frank,
port of entry there.
Frank just got a 30. Frank just got his car in 2 days ago. He had a triple R block R34 GTR. He found a global. Guy's got five
Hmm.
R34s, right? Frank, he's in our team, right? Long Gone
Yep.
Runners. By the way, there's a team. We did start it, but we haven't really kick-started it. Like fucking started making merch and stickers and all that stuff. But we've been meeting up. It's called Wangan Runners on Instagram, by the way. And by the way,
Follow that if you're
Leo,
listening.
Leo, Leo, I want you to be part of the team. Maybe you could
Oh,
start
thank you.
the Cali department. You know,
Absolutely.
the
I'm on
the
board. I'm
ladies
down.
department. No,
Hey,
like we say,
I'm gonna call
what
it Pentrina Research. I'm gonna
what?
steal it from
Yeah,
them.
yeah, but yeah, Patina Research too. This 2.0. Yeah,
Pentrina.
yeah, in Trina.
He's
but
currently crashing out over that.
ser seriously, like you can, I will be more than happy to give you, and the guys would be cool with it too. So you would be like the president
Thank
over
you.
there in Cali if you want to start it, with your Wangan runners. That's like
Absolutely. Let's fucking do it.
basic fucking name, right? So it's there's rules. We got a whole fucking bylaw. I've already done that. Everything is set. Everything's good. We just got to follow the rules. That's it. One of the big events that we want to do here in Florida is we want to, for charity. It's going to be all charity, no profit. To probably like Wounded Warriors or Tunnel to Towers or something like that. We want to do a sawgrass shutdown with the police department and the fire and everybody, and we want to do top speed racing on the short 4 mile event, um, not a half mile, not a mile event, a 4 mile event of top speed, and at a certain spot is where you're going to get clocked at with the police scanner, and you have to have, we're trying to look at all the aspects of safety. It's going to cost a lot of money to do because we got to pay the cops a lot of money, and we got to pay the city and all that stuff. So we're trying to get some, and we have some heavy deep rollers here, or what do you call it? Heavy
Pockets.
hitters. Yeah, we got deep pockets here with some of the guys, and if we pitch it right, once we have it established, we can do it once a year, right?
Dude, that'd be
And
dope. That's
yeah.
kind of like
That is
I've heard of an event.
sick.
I've heard an event like that out in Cali, or what it used to be out here. Is called Beat the Heat.
Hmm. But it was it on a
Where
track or what?
it would be on the track, like so
Yeah.
there'd be like a segment
Public
of the
road.
track, either
Public road.
CHP or the local
Yeah.
department would come out to the track, and you'd be able to race them
I
either in a drag mile or around
yeah.
the circuit. They used to do. I heard they used to do that. They don't do that anymore because fucking roll codes or whatnot.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been done like
We need to bring
legally.
that back,
I don't think, I mean, other than Cannonball Run and all the other fucking crazy shit, but yeah. So,
which is where you're running from the cops, not running with them.
yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. Uh, I think that's all the time we have for today. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your
Anytime.
story. We have many other stories to share
Oh God.
because I feel like our lives actually intersect quite a bit in the people we know and who we know and the stories in which we could raise. So we'll definitely have to have you back on with for another chat.
Yeah.
But
One last thing I want
yeah,
to tell you, Leo. I know
mhm.
you're running on time here. Uh, there's a movie opportunity soon. That's all I'm gonna say about and everybody else that whatever the storyline's going to be. I'm working with somebody right now, a director and a producer. Not a lot of people know that. I'm letting you guys know on the podcast because there
Well,
might
there we
be.
go.
This is going to blow Fast and Furious out of the fucking water. That's the
Yeah,
intentions. A real car movie,
absolutely.
not this
And that new
bullshit.
Drifter movie, yeah, that
Yeah,
whoever that dude making the Drifter movie out here in California, I don't know if that's gonna hit
yeah,
either.
Well,
He's already whitewashed the crew, so
yeah.
you guys
fucking
don't lose your
Hollywood.
you guys don't lose your floor pan when you hit the NOS button.
Dude, danger to manifold.
Right? Is that's not normal? Like,
Yeah, all day, dude. I can't tighten those fucking bolts for nothing, dude.
I need NOS.
Yeah,
It's two of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Well, again, thanks, man.
No
Last
problem,
words,
brother.
last plug.
Thank you for having me
Have
on,
yourself.
man.
How can we
Uh,
get a hold of you on Instagram? What do people want to check
yeah,
out?
Instagram is Trakuza Speed Mafia, and then I do have a YouTube channel. It's Trakuza, Trakkuza, not S-A, U-Z-A, like Yakuza, and Twitch, Kick, X, YouTube, all Trakuza. I do streams and live videos and stuff like that, and gaming, and also we're gonna get the sim rig running soon. But that's it. But Leo, thanks for having me on, bro. You can ask me anytime, bro. I'll be here for you.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate your time as well and your stories. We'll definitely have you back on. John, closing words, sir.
Oh, I'm just glad to be chit chatting with you guys again, and it's really funny to me because I just got insurance on my first. Like, I've been going through all of my machines and like fixing them from storage, and so it was very serendipitous that we record on the day I just got insurance on the Ducati.
Ooh.
Hey, it
What
sounds
kind of
like you're going for a ride after
what
this.
Ducati? What Ducati?
It's a 2008 Monster S4 RS
Oh,
Tricolore.
beautiful, dude. I love those things.
Got a lot of.
It's
Well,
very
it's been
nice.
stored. It's been in storage for 3 years, so I ripped it apart. I changed all the fluids. I blah 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 blah. I've been working on it for like 3 weeks.
That's nice, dude.
Yeah,
I got
John, our next episode is gonna have to be a life update from you and I because
dude,
since we stopped recording this podcast 2 years ago, our life has drastically changed, like completely.
yeah.
We're so far from where we were.
Oh my
you,
It's
God.
nuts.
was it before the Porsche or after the Porsche?
This is before I got diagnosed, which
Oh
we'll
yeah,
get into.
yeah.
So like we haven't done a podcast since then. That's 2 years, and a lot has happened since then.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to just sit down and
Moved
do
to
a
the United
quick life
States.
update. Yeah, John was in Saudi. Yeah, it's a whole thing. You'll have to listen to it, Dan.
Yeah, if you guys want to again, and I know I talk a lot and I got crazy stories, but if you guys need a third guy,
Oh, absolutely.
I'm
We'll
right here,
definitely have
guys.
you on.
I love doing this shit.
We
So
need more stories. Well,
cool.
listeners, it's been great. Uh, as always, keep it pinned. What is life? That's the new catchphrase. I hope you like it. If you don't, let me know either on IG or Discord or whatever. Hit me up directly with Mr. ZeroLift if you don't like what is life, and I'm going to tell you to go fuck off because I like it. But that is all. Have a good day.